You got CNN on your TV, yeah. Because I got some news for you. Last night was a fluke, yeah. I've seen it all, I've heard it all. It literally took a tornado, yeah, to stop Ranger Ramon from winning the Thursday night tournament. Ricky Riverboat Rob over here had to team up with Kevin in order to stop me. Well, I should tell you everything you need to know, yeah. Because next week, we're coming for blood, yeah. And there ain't nothing you can do about it.
That was a good one.
I'm serious now. I know I had shit to
Call
do
me
before
Rookie
this.
Riverboat Rob.
So I was trying to go for like a Ricky Steamboat, but I screwed up. That's why I said Ricky. I wanted to say Robbie Riverboat, like Ricky Steamboat, but I fucked it up. But
Dude, that was good.
That was a good one, dude.
so we got to really start getting like we have to do like the interview style. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen that when like the announcers just stand there backstage, like Randy said, the cream of the crop. Yeah,
He's like Vince McMahon.
yes, or Phoebe could do it. Either one. Like, it'd be cool as hell. But it is Friday, so it's another episode of Bass and Beer Radio. We have a couple things we're going to talk about. Not a ton of topics tonight, but we're going to definitely have a lot to talk about. So we're going to talk about the Tornado Tournament recap from last night. We're going to talk about boat etiquette / tournament etiquette. We've kind of hinted to this in a number of our episodes so far this year. Today we're going to really get into it.
Oh, this is going to be good.
This one's going to be spicy. I expect a lot of comments on this.
We should definitely have some good comments on this. But, dude, like, we should also have some freaking fire stories.
Oh, yeah.
This is like one of them episodes where I wish that we had the OBS software that we'll be getting soon, because then we can do like call-ins and have people call in
Yeah.
and tell us their
yeah,
stories.
that was
dude.
dope.
Yeah,
like
people
that.
can just call in, tell us their story, and then like log out, and we can just keep on like getting it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then, excuse me, the last thing, well, first I should start this. I want to welcome Kevin onto the show. Kevin's been commenting on the show now for a long time. He's finally on the camera. So super stoked for him. And our honored guest tonight is Andrew Donahue with 40 East Fishing, big snakehead name in the area. We're going to talk all about, and because you started your own guide business, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get into detail with all of that good stuff. And then just go through some of your favorite moments of and what it takes to be a guide and all that good stuff. So,
I'm pretty excited to have somebody. So like everything that we've like talked about so far has been like keying in on just like bass patterns and stuff like that. We've had small snakehead discussion, but I'm definitely like excited to have somebody on that likes to key in on the snakeheads.
Grommet too.
We talked about Grom just a little bit, yeah. And like, dude, we got to get Gromster back on here. Like, we gotta get.
He's
like,
busy now.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
busy.
He's busy at the house. Good, congratulations to him on that. But yeah, I'm excited to have somebody like that kind of keys in on the snakes more, has some more insight on the snakes, and even your own like guide service. You know what I mean? So you got some good input, and I'm ready to hear that.
Cool.
What else are we gonna cover tonight, Tony?
So we don't, like I said, we don't have a ton of topics tonight, but I can tell you right now, boat / tournament etiquette is going to get a ton of material to talk about. So, like I said, we're going to talk about the tournament last night. We're going to talk about the boat etiquette, ramp etiquette, tournament fishing etiquette, and then we're going to go right to Andrew and kind of get his perspective on the fishery, whether or not it's coming back, whether he thinks snakeheads are good for the bass population or not. We'll go into everything. So, for those of you snakehead junkies out there, this is a guy to ask the questions to. So start thinking about them, start typing away, and we usually get to all of them, so we should be able to get to all the questions. But first and foremost, congrats to you two, because you had a tornado working in your favor. Otherwise, I was coming at your throat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We were worried when you stayed out for the entire 3 hours.
So was I, but I was worried about the lightning, not
The tornado did not help us at all. We got out of there before it got too bad. We caught our fish and ran.
We caught our fish very quick.
Yeah. We caught our fish and we ran through the woods and said, screw this.
What time did it start storming?
Well, about an hour into the tournament.
Yeah, I'd say probably 45 minutes in,
Yeah.
some dark clouds came along. And
So I can tell you, I didn't leave, and I could have stayed out a little bit longer. I went under the bridge for about a half hour, so I didn't stay out. But it got to the point where we were fishing the spot, and every time my rod's up in the air, I hear it buzzing from static electricity. I'm like, oh, wow, this is happening. So, at that point, it's like I bought a lottery ticket the other week, so my chances of 1 in a million are already up. I feel fine. But
So me and Kevin, we fished. What was that? Saturday or Sunday?
Fish Sunday.
We got on some fish. We figured a little something out, and instead of beating them up, we said let's just see.
So some guys can follow you to your juice now instead of Tony.
Right now they can, but what we did was I did post a picture that was kind of probably I shouldn't have, but we didn't. We just left it alone.
You capitalized.
What
on
we're
it.
fishing
Yeah.
is no secret. Let's just put
we
it
didn't
that
do
way.
nothing special. We didn't do nothing.
Is
that
anything
special.
really ever a secret as
No.
much as it is figuring out the pattern?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a spot. It's
Exactly.
everybody knows the spot.
Right.
You know what you're doing at the spot.
No, there was
Yeah.
lots of secrets, and we didn't have some secret bait that no one's ever seen before.
Ooh.
We found some fish.
Very
We were
simple.
catching some fish, and we didn't beat them up. We left them alone and said, let's hit them back up on Thursday. That's why we were able to go out and catch them as quick as we did
Mhm.
and get back in before the storm. We had a bag, an 8-pound bag, by 40 minutes into it, I
Yeah,
think.
I mean, literally first cast 3-pounder.
He caught us the
First cast.
very first cast.
I don't even think he was on the back deck yet.
No, and I was like, "Are you serious?" And he's
Yeah.
like pulling a 3-pounder in the boat, like before I could even get on the back deck and make a cast.
And then at that point, they knew it was on.
Right. Well, no, we
Well, he had to bring up the whole bad luck thing.
I was like, well,
Oh,
that's
for
bad
the
luck.
first cast,
The
is
first
bad luck.
cast.
Bad
Yeah.
luck catching
Yeah.
on the first cast.
Me and
But
Steve believe heavily in that as well.
that's what they say. But then I caught one right after that. Well, not long after that.
Maybe 10 minutes later.
And then we searched for a third one, maybe not much longer. And then Kevin wound up getting the third one. The storm started breaking out, and we said, feel pretty good about what we got. And we were at the boat dock at what, 6:30 maybe?
Yeah, we're pulling out around 6:30.
And I kept looking. I was like, man, I hope everybody makes it back. Paul, I was very impressed with Paul. Well, first I was very impressed with Tony because Tony stayed out through the whole thing like it was nothing. There
Yeah,
was
I
like
get it.
lightning and hail and like it was insane. And
We're weighing impressiveness with stupidity yesterday.
I was impressed. I was like, Tony's got balls of steel, dude. Like,
if you just don't pay attention to it, it's not happening. I'm just telling you.
it's not really happening, dude. Just keep fishing.
If you just look down at the water and you don't see the lightning going up every 5 seconds,
It's not really
not
happening.
When you see
Just
the
like
lightning
the
reflection
log,
on the
can't see it
water
if you can't
behind
see
you,
it.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
it's a little worse.
It's like up at Conowingo. If you can't see the rock, it's not there.
Yeah.
Just
Keep on going.
Keep
Trim it high and let it fly.
Right.
Trim it high. and
I
let
did
it fly.
smack the shit out of a log yesterday when I did finally go to get under the bridge, and I was like, "Oh, great! I'm going to get caught out in the middle because I just smacked the shit out of a log."
and I just tore my lower off.
Well,
You
where,
wanna
where we
shoot
were,
out a
we
couple
didn't have
props
enough water to
over
get
there.
up on plane, so we literally had to idle out of there.
Oh, we
the
turned
middle of
up.
the storm.
I was standing on the bow.
He was literally
of his
standing on the
boat,
bow.
like, on the very tip of it, like where the light is at. Like,
Yeah.
trying
Oh, yeah,
to keep
it's-
the front down to get the hell out of there, and it's like hailing and windy, and it was like people hiding under the train bridge. It was
Yeah.
like totally insane.
We're the only ones out in the middle of the water trying to get back to the
I'm
ramp.
very proud of the fact that that's the one we won. Though.
Yeah, we worked for that one.
Yeah, it's a tough.
Like, remember that Thursday night when
Yeah.
it hailed and it was a tornado? Well, yeah, we won that one.
I would say that it's one of them ones where it's like it's badass that you like stuck it out and you brought home the win, but you didn't even do that. You guys went out there and caught your bag in 40 minutes, and then you came back and
I mean,
won.
we were back at the ramp
We
drinking.
can still say that we won the one, but Tony fished through the tornado.
Tony fished through a hurricane, but you guys
Apparently-
still won it. But you guys went out there and smoked them in 20 minutes and came back.
Apparently, there was no tornado. He didn't see it. The rest of us saw it. It
I'm
ran
gonna
for
call
us.
that more
Exactly.
impressive.
He had those sunglasses on right there to block the whole thing
It
out.
felt like it was a tornado.
It's different on the water too.
My wife texted me like, "Are you
Oh,
fishing
yeah.
in this?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "We're fishing."
Oh, the amount of texts I had on my phone because everyone knows that I knows I go out every Thursday, and they're like, "Are you alive?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm wet, but I'm alive, but I'm soaked."
For now.
So,
Dude, Hippie Gibbs like went by us. Like he said, "Forget it." Like he wasn't even going to weigh in. He just planed out and like planed by us like, "Fuck this shit. See you later." Like, he was done. He was like, "I'm not staying and fishing."
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
he
y'all are
did.
crazy. I'm getting out of here.
My brother almost, because my brother said he was back in the quarry fishing. I kind of, because he's as bad as you. So I was a little worried, like, man, I hope he's smart enough just to come back in.
I hope he's smart enough to come back in.
Right, because he'll be like, this ain't shit. He's like, Tony, if you don't see it, it ain't happening. So I was like a little concerned for him. Like I was looking at the dock for him. Like, man, I hope he just comes back in.
Bass and Beer Radio, 15 pounds and lightning storms ain't shit.
Well, what happened was
The picture I posted of that 4.5 pounder you caught the other day. Did you see somebody reply 15 pounds ain't shit?
I didn't see that. I was
well,
still,
that's awesome.
I was still in
Dan.
Facebook jail
That's
when
awesome.
you posted
Oh my
that, so I
God.
couldn't even comment on it.
Oh, you were still on Facebook?
I was
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, the Facebook jail comment was great. So I don't know if you saw it, but it was 2 weeks ago.
It was last week. It was last Friday.
So last
Oh,
week
yeah, that
we
was
were talking about different bass boats, and we were actually talking about bullet boats.
Don't say it. Dude.
And-
Hey,
No.
we might get canned for like a month for this podcast.
Oh my
Don't
gosh!
say it.
I'm gonna
Don't
say
say
it.
it, dude.
I'm gonna
Don't
say
say
it.
it,
This
dude.
is good.
You know what? No, it's like that. It's like that old vine. You know what? I'm gonna say it.
Everything
I don't
was fine
care
until you
that
start
you-
drinking them Bud Light seltzers.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't
That
you?
chair's gonna keep going.
That dude's got glasses sticking in my fucking windshield. I'm gonna say it. I don't care that you
Go ahead,
broke
say it.
through.
Yeah, it was.
So he goes bullet to Allison in the comments.
Speaking about bass,
Which like so bullet is a
Bullet,
boat, Allison is a
boat.
boat. We're comparing bullet to Allison, and Facebook saw that shit and banned him for what?
5 days.
5 days.
5 days.
when I took the picture of the big one he called, he's like, "You're gonna have to post it because I can't." do it."
So you get the Brittany Griner award then?
I guess. Well, it said that I have 27 days left before my post will go to the top of the feed.
Oh wow! So you're shadow banned now.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my gosh!
I had 3 infractions in less than a month.
And,
Hurt
you
some
know, what?
feelings.
I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes I'm on Facebook and I like want to get into political debates, but here's the thing: if my Facebook page gets wrapped up in any Facebook crap, it transfers over to Bass and Beer, and it would not allow us to post any content. So it's like
Yeah.
so many times I just have to sit there. I'm like,
Take the high.
"Grr."
We gotta say what's up to everybody that's on. I don't know if somebody wants to go down the list. It's
Yeah, I mean,
kind of far from the screen, but I see Pete's on there.
Pete's
I
on.
can't see from here.
Brian's on. We got
Hey, Ryan. Hey, Suzanne.
Couple new
No,
names.
90.
Couple new names I've seen. So welcome.
Yeah.
If this is your first time tuning in, welcome.
Welcome.
We certainly appreciate it. All right, I think we're getting ready to go on this boat etiquette / tournament etiquette. Let's just start right at the ramp. So I'll start off with the story from last weekend. So we're at Tidings. We're up at the Flats. Now the Flats is notoriously shitty. Anywhere from like 12 to 4 p.m. trying to pull your boat out. The really bad hours is like noon and 3 all the time. So we're up there, a bunch of guys in the club got together and fished just one biggest fish kind of deal, $20, whatever. So we all weigh in 11. Not a single boat was pulled out until 12. Because one guy from probably Dundalk, no offense, but realistically probably Dundalk, had like 3 jet skis. Had like 3 jet skis on a trailer and took literally 45 minutes to get them off. So first thing he does is pull up to the ramp. Everything is still tied down. All the plugs are still out. Nothing has been done. Like the coolers are not where they need to be. Nothing is where it needs to be. So he is literally hogging up the boat ramp. And the best part was the guy right behind him is about 150 years old. So he doesn't realize that the ramp at Tidings is a double ramp. You can launch 2 boats at a time at Tidings.
You can go double wide.
yeah.
So the guy, at least the guy on the jet ski, is tight to the fence to where another boat can get in. So the guy standing there is just standing there, leaning out his truck, disgusted. Like I am disgusted. Like God damn it, here we go, right? So 45 literally minutes later, the guy launches the boat, and everyone gets back in. So once the jet skis are launched, what does the old man wait and do? Starts getting his boat ready. It's almost like you weren't standing there for a half hour judging the guy that's making everybody wait. You've come full circle, buddy. Like, so now we're sitting there and I'm like, dude, there ain't no way. So I'm the next in line. So I go to back down and he, is on the other side and he's like, no, stop. And I'm like, why? He's like, I'm on the ramp. I'm like, 2 fucking ramps, bro. 2 ramps.
Right.
You just waited for 45 minutes. There's 2 ramps. Oh, I didn't realize. Is there an in and outside? Should I move? I'm like, you stay right where you are. And we'll all work around you, no problem.
Right.
But literally, we all sat there for about an hour.
See, the thing
I
is
mean-
that I've noticed if you try and be nice to somebody in this situation, they take way too much offense to it. If you're just trying to teach them basic boat etiquette and ramp, they take way too much offense to it. Like, you're just trying to help them.
But yeah, no,
And they just start cussing you out, like happened last weekend with me and Paul.
a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, and I think to your point, trying to help them is good unless they just have to stick up their ass.
Yeah.
Like everyone starts somewhere. Like I'm sure I've done really stupid things to the boat ramp before. I might not be able to think of them off the top of my head, but I'm sure I've done it.
I've done it,
Like
for sure.
we've all done it, but it's
I left my transom strap on one time at Conowingo and told my girlfriend was backing me out, and I told her to go forward, and the whole boat came up with it with one strap and spun around. It was pretty scary, not gonna lie. It definitely was probably my most shameful boat ramp experience.
It's shameful.
I had
She
my
didn't want
shameful-
to. She didn't want to have nothing to do with backing the boat in anymore after that. So
Yeah.
I was at Kentucky Lake one time fishing the FLW Open, and a guy I was fishing with, it was a college series, very inexperienced fisherman. I told him, hey, take all the straps off the boat, because when you have a huge line like that, you can't just get out and do everything. Like one guy preps the boat, the other guy inches the truck up as it goes and all that
it's
stuff.
got to be a fine old machine
Exactly.
for tournament launch.
Absolutely. So
Definitely
I
tournament launch.
It is.
didn't want him using my truck, so I was like, well, you just unload the shit and everything. So we go to back the boat in, and both straps are hooked up. So I floated the trailer, and I'm cussing. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like March, so it's cold.
Mhm.
There's 2 inches of water in the boat. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, well, I said, what do we do? I'm like, pull the fucking boat out of the water. What do you mean? I'm like, oh man, that was bad. There's 40 other colleges. Like, look at that retard. Like,
Yeah.
I had a fucking.
Because then you got to take the walk of
kayaker.
shame from the
walk of
parking
shame.
lot down to the ramp. We're like, oh, there's that guy. He just did that.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I've tried to load my boat with the trolling motor down. I did that once.
Oh, that sucks, dude. I had to do that. Like when oh my God, trying to get your boat on the trailer with the trolling motor.
No.
I got pretty
I
good
was,
at that.
I was,
How'd you have it down?
I had it down, and I was trying to load on.
No. Snag the trailer?
Oh hell yeah!
How did your boat not just rip that clean off with a 200?
Yeah.
slow.
Those things flex pretty
I
good.
I was
gotta
going
tell-
slow.
I gotta
And
tell
that
Rob.
trolling motor was fine, dude.
Because it's a 4-trax.
I gotta tell
Dude,
It
I mean,
Rob.
probably
that lot,
was.
man.
You can beat the hell out of them things. So they
Tell
keep on
Rob. I
taking
gotta
it.
tell
Third
Rob
owner
Murphy.
you
Like,
use.
yeah, kill switch was probably flipped or something. He said he's like people launch their boat, then they come down with their battery and try to start it. He's like click click click.
Wait, what? I've never seen that.
Right there. Read this message, dude.
Holy crap, that would piss me off.
Dude, I had a kayaker that I guess he loads and unloads his kayak in the back of his van.
Mm-hmm.
So I can pull in and I tie up and I go to get my truck, and this freaking kayaker paddles right in front of me.
Gromster.
Then he goes and he gets his freaking van and he pulls back. So now I can't pull my boat out because he's blocking everything. Then he makes a phone call. Like, it's on his fucking radio in his van. So like, and it's like everybody can hear his phone call. He sits there for like 20 minutes on the fucking phone.
Was it an important phone call?
No, I don't know what the fuck he's talking
I'm
about.
gonna-
At that point, I was like,
what's your phone call?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go out on a
You
limb
can move it.
and say that this was at Mariner Point Park.
it definitely was Mariner
Oh,
Point
yeah.
Park. dude.
That is the biggest.
Mariner Point, I would say Mariner's like one of the better ramps that I've
They-
seen. Like,
Oh,
I mean, and
the
Dorset,
cigar boats.
actually.
Oh my God, the cigar boats when they fucking come.
So
That's,
they come
Wilson
together,
Point.
too.
Wilson Point around.
Oh,
I
can
don't
only
even.
imagine.
I'm not even fucking with Wilson Point at all. Fucking.
I can only
Wilson
imagine.
Point sucks.
Yeah.
No, I'm not fucking with that boat ramp.
That ramp,
like,
There's some
I feel like it's
snakes
gonna break your axle just going to that ramp. Like, you
Oh,
gotta,
the
like,
one
how
little
to do-
ditch, dude.
There's that like ditch right before you
Yeah.
go up on the concrete, and it's like boof every time you hit it. It doesn't matter how slow you go.
Dorsey's actually pretty good. Like up
Yeah.
the Conowingo, because your margin of error, or your margin of fuck up room is so low because it's like dropping your boat off the face. It's like if you believe in the flat Earth, then guess what? The Conowingo boat ramp is on the edge of the earth, because as soon as you drop off, it's fucking vertical.
Yeah, it's like 30 feet of
I
water.
got my
at the
brain
end.
around.
Yeah.
If you believe in the flat Earth,
Have you guys? I know Adam knows this, and you know this. Do you guys remember the freaking ramp under the train bridge
Yeah.
in Havany
Oh, yeah.
Grace?
oh my God!
Oh
that,
my God,
My
dude, the
brother
ramp-
lost. I
The
told
chair
you.
got him again.
I warned you. I told you. My brother lost like a whole. He's on
They're
there.
rebuilding that ramp.
Like
aren't
his
they?
whole
Yeah,
fucking.
they are.
I don't know if they're leaving the ramp. I
Are
don't
they?
know if they are, but they're making it a whole park or something.
I heard they're
My
building
brother
another
lost
ramp.
like a
Yeah,
fender.
they
That's
started
what I
tearing
thought.
it down like beginning of the season.
That ramp was pretty haggard last time I went.
Yeah.
It's like this
Oh,
song.
It's good. It's
like
good.
this
And then all of a sudden,
song.
your boat's like.
I would launch a John boat there. That's
Straight up,
about
like
it.
See, my
to the
brother
point
said,
where you
"Fuck that
almost
ramp."
can't even get
Dude,
your
like his whole
trailer.
fucking
The tide's
fender came off
low.
and floated down the river.
Yeah, the tide's low.
What's that?
You have another cold one?
Yeah, there's in there.
Oh,
Adam said
nice.
it's
Adam
not
says the
being
room
redone.
is not being redone.
It's nature preserve now.
That sucks.
Nature preserve.
We preserve nature all the time.
So is it
I'm
going to be
telling
like
you,
a kayak soft launch?
That
or something?
fucking ramp is bullshit.
Okay, so what's the
It's
point
free.
of the kayak thing launched? The same thing at Mariner Point. They put that, I don't know how much money the state
That
spent
floating.
on putting that floating kayak launch there, and then every time you go to the damn ramp,
There's
the
still a
kayakers
kayaker
are sitting in
middle
the
of
damn
ramp.
boat ramp. I'm like, there's a kayak launch there, and there's a dirt launch over there in
Yeah,
the
I would
other
always,
parking
when I
lot.
had the kayak, I would launch it at the dirt one or like go
That's
all
what
the
it's
way down.
supposed to launch.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean, people at Mariner Point Park can't even get in and out right.
Well, there's
it
some
says in and out.
there's
And
some
you-
No,
kayakers.
no one
Yeah.
ever follows that.
Yeah.
There's some kayakers that are actually cool about it. Like they know not to clog it up. They get their stuff ready and they cart it down in there in the water and done.
Right.
I said some.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Uh-huh.
it's not
Yeah,
all, and
it's
it's a
rare.
small percentage of them that are actually doing that.
Oh yeah.
it was me and Steve watched a guy he had his kayak on a small trailer.
That's the new thing for these kayaks. They got like
Maybe
$10,000
some of the old heads don't
kayaks. and
accept it, but
Dude,
Uh,
he like
yeah.
but this was like
I
some
think
like
it's I don't know.
dude, this
What
was
you
like
think it
some
is.
backwoods hillbilly trailer that he had it on there. Like, so he backs it in, all his rods are hanging out
A
the side of this thing,
trailer.
and one of the rods clips the pylon. And he
Right.
backs it in, and it just takes this rod and just flings it into the water. And dude, so we're sitting there, and I come back up, and Steve's like, "That guy's rod just flew in the water." And so I look up, and this dude turns. This guy's coming back down from his car in his boxers, and goes swimming into the ramp and starts trying to find the freaking rod with his feet. He's got the whole ramp clogged up with his car, and he's swimming in it trying to find this. By the way, like this rod looked like it was from like 1984. I was like,
It might have been a collector's item.
yeah, I
dude.
was saying.
Lucky ride.
I mean,
dude.
it
You
could've
can't lose that.
It could have been a Bill Dance first edition.
that ride survived the tornado tournament. You got to keep that.
Right. So I guess I got to tell
I
the
think I got a
story.
5-pounder that day.
I guess I got to tell the story that Rob put in the comments. So last year, me and Rob and
Special guest.
we got 6.
What's up, everybody?
was
You
there?
pop in.
Where's
Pull up
there
a chair,
another
dude.
chair at?
Pull up
The
a chair,
one and
get a
only-
chair.
I gotta run.
The one and only Paul Batters.
What?
Did you just go off the phone?
As I mentioned earlier today,
Somebody
Paul
told
effing
her
bad.
Do you have a good
Oh,
do you have a good
matters.
story to tell before you leave?
Boat ramp story, real
You-
quick.
How
I know
about
you
how
have
about
a
our
phone
boat
call.
ramp story from this past weekend?
So
There you go.
when do you want a story or do you just want what not to do at a boat ramp?
No, we want a story.
I want a
We
story.
story. We want
Yeah.
a good story.
So-
Details.
Me and Kevin were out fishing last Sunday. Kevin had been out with Rob in the morning. I kind of met up with him, was talking to him on the water. Rob was getting ready to go in, so I was like, "Hey, Kevin, jump on my boat. You know, I'm gonna go fish for a couple more hours." So Kevin gets in, we go fishing, we get back to the ramp, and I drop Kevin off, and this pleasure boater parks his boat in the pull-out ramp, like on the dock.
Literally in
Guys,
the ramp.
like in the ramp.
Not
And
on
he-
the 100-foot of bulkhead that's on the top.
Guys, nowhere to be sighted.
Oh yeah.
His kid's holding the boat. So Kevin goes to the parking lot and gets my truck, backs down to the ramp. Like that's the only open spot. There's another guy pulling out, in the other spot. And Kevin's just pulls up, backs down, angles my trailer so I can go around him. And as Kevin's backing down, this dude gets out of his truck and just starts screaming at Kevin.
Comes over to the window and
Comes over to the window and goes, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh shit!
30 years, I've never seen a bigger bunch of assholes. I said, well, you must not use the boat ramp very much if you ain't seen a bunch of assholes.
So all of this goes down, and I'm not joking. Me pulling my boat out took less time than him to get out of his truck and bitch.
Literally, 45
Yeah.
seconds, Paul was on the trailer
Right,
we were
right.
pulling out.
We
It
launch
was-
all the time. We
Oh,
come
yeah.
in and out.
You know, it's one of those things like you just don't, because you park in the boat ramp, that doesn't make the ramp yours.
Right.
It was a busy day. There
Yeah.
were multiple people in line. He was tying up one, there was a lot of people. Yeah, if me being in a bass boat, I could go around him. Other guys that were trying to pull pleasure boats out, they couldn't do anything.
Right.
Their boats were too big.
Yeah.
I could just slide right around it.
And for all we know, we pulling up on that, he could have been putting his boat in the pull-out launch. As
He was
crazy
nowhere to
as
be-
it is.
he was
I mean,
nowhere to be around.
It was two kids.
And then his
pulling
kid
off
standing on the
boat.
dock, like throwing up his hands at me and like trying to like undo it, like I'm going to hit his boat or something. I'm like, you ain't got to move your boat, dude.
I always tell people like
On the trailer, out
Yeah.
45 seconds.
Literally.
I always tell people
We were
like,
out of the
you
parking
get
lot
around my
before
boat,
he got up to the parking lot.
Good luck. And if you hit it, I don't give a shit. So
Right.
I got plenty of
tin
boat ramp
cans.
stories.
So.
I launched at Dundee one time, and
You might as well get a chair, Paul.
we had a tournament at Dundee, and
You can sit on the arm of that
Yeah.
chair.
Yeah, sit right there, dude.
Put it out of its misery.
so if anybody's ever launched at Dundee, you got the ramp here, and then there's piers over on the side of the building. Well, my boat's tied up over here. I go up, I get my trailer, I back my trailer down, I run over, grab my boat, drive my boat around, and there's this red tracker Deep V just sitting there, like out from the ramp, not like parked or anything, just a woman sitting in it. My trailer's the only one backed into the water. There's no other trailers in sight. And so I just, I kind of go around her, go to pull it. Excuse me, we were next in line.
He's like,
I actually have said those words before.
Like,
What?
Like,
I was next, dude.
I was like, that's my trailer. Like, there's
Like you're next
literally no
now.
other trailer down here.
Love it.
So apparently I was cutting in line because my trailer was already in the water. Like, her husband was hadn't even reached the parking lot yet, and apparently I was supposed to wait.
What-
You can definitely tell the people that are at the boat ramp like once a month compared to twice
Oh, yeah.
a day. Like some
Yeah.
of us.
Right, twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
What about the people that pull down? So they got where you pull up, you prep your boat, but then some people pull down right in front of the ramp and then start unstrapping their boat.
Putting electronics
that's
on,
what you're
putting
saying
the
with
cooler
the
in.
What the fuck? Dude?
people?
Oh, yeah.
People who load
Like,
their
they'll go
coolers
around you while you're
and,
prepping yours.
and the only one that
I'll go around you.
Oh yeah.
the last time I was at Tidings, I almost got mad at somebody. There was a pontoon boat that launched, and they were in the ramp, and they were loading all their stuff, and I almost got mad at them, and then realized I had a handicapped person with them in a wheelchair. So like that's fine, like no big deal. Like you had to tie up the ramp.
Right.
That's fine, but don't. You've been sitting in the parking lot for 25 minutes waiting in line, and you couldn't pull your cooler out of your truck and put it in your boat. Like
Yeah.
you literally just sat in your truck for 20 minutes waiting in line and didn't take care of it. So as far as boat ramp etiquette goes, make sure your boat's ready to launch.
Then
Before
you
you
then
get
pull
the
down
ramp.
to the ramp.
Yes.
That's my point.
You
But
know,
what-
it
what-
should be 90. You should be 90% ready to launch by the time you get to the ramp.
But-
You might have to unhook a strap or something like that. That's fine, but you need to be ready to go.
But what I'm saying is I'll pull up and I'll start getting my boat ready, up where you're supposed to pull up and get it ready. And like this big fucking saltwater boat or something to come by, still strapped down and everything right around me, down to the ramp, back up to the ramp, and then start getting ready.
Hey, babe, did you put the drain
Who's gonna
plug
go
in?
get you a
Oh, I
kid?
forgot. Oh, pull back.
No, I got
Right,
it.
drain plug in.
I can't say one.
You can leave.
Paul,
I
Paul
really
said
can't
it.
say one.
While we got Paul here real quick, and I know, Tony, you still have the Robert Murphy story.
a
No,
good
let's
one.
not forget about
That
it.
is a good one.
Let's
Real
go to
quick,
fishing
but-
for a minute.
But while we got Paul for a second, you're headed to New York, man. Huh?
I am headed to New York.
It's some smallmouth fishing.
I'm leaving Sunday morning and go to the St. Lawrence River.
Very jealous.
Yeah.
Gonna go smash a big smallmouth. Should be a good time.
So basically, you can't sleep tonight. You're just all amped.
Now, tonight I'm fine. Tomorrow night it's gonna be
Yeah.
good.
So what's your personal goals for when you go up there for the St. Lawrence?
So I have
This is your first time.
first time in the St. Lawrence. I have one goal. My one goal was catch a 6-pound smallmouth.
Hell yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that's really
Paul F. and Batters. She's going to do
that's my only goal. I know we were talking
Yeah, that's
outside.
That's your new
about
nickname, Paul fucking Batters.
I'm about to be in my first time there, and I've fished enough bodies of water that like it doesn't bother me that it's my first time there. Like I don't ever think of a body of water like that because I've always been pretty good at breaking down a body of water. For the most part, if you give me a map of a lake, tell me the time of year, I'll point out 10 places you can catch fish.
For anybody who doesn't know, Paul is very knowledgeable and he's very skilled fisherman. Probably.
I've done that for Kevin a couple of times.
Yes,
when
he
he
has.
went to some places. I was like, go here, here, and here. Did you catch fish there? Yeah.
Just by looking at him, he's very talented. I will.
Trying to find
He's been a
You did that
very
one
good
time,
mentor,
You're good.
time and time again.
You're good, man.
You stay?
No, I'm cutting out of here in a few minutes.
Is that Billy the Bass, the singing bass?
The first time I ever went to Deep Creek, I pulled up like
That's a steep ramp.
I tried to find another
I
chair.
pulled up like 5 or 6 places on the map, and was like, yeah, I'm gonna try it here, 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 and here. And I talked to my best friend who had been out. He's been out there a few times, and he was like, here, let me give you some places. And he gives me the exact 5 places that I had already put out on the map that I was going to start.
Yeah.
So
It's
I mean,
almost good.
it's
Was the dam one of them?
no, actually,
I
I
got
usually
nice-
stay below the dam.
There's so
I
much
usually stay
stuff.
on the other end.
Down there at that dam.
I got a
If you ever
3.5
stand over it on the side
pound.
imaging.
There's
Dude,
some really
it's
good
crazy.
grass right against it.
How long are you going for, Paul?
So I'm going to be 5 days of fishing, 2 days of travel. So we're driving up on Sunday, driving back on Saturday.
That's
a New
nice.
York trip.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
That's a New York trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd make it like
So
a day and
we'll
a
be
half.
5 full days of fishing, probably dawn to dark.
Yeah.
Taking my dad with me, so depending on how much he can handle.
Right.
That's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a club. It's a club thing, right?
Yeah, we have a bunch of guys from our club. 7 guys from my club, 2 guys from Team Outcast, and then my dad,
What 2 of you guys are doing that?
I think it's Clint and Jim, right?
Clint and Jim. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a good combination.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I ain't seen Clint lately. You know that?
They had a club meeting last night, so I haven't made the last 3 or 4 club meetings because Thursday night.
Clint, like I come back. Speaking of boat ramps, I come back like on like Sunday, maybe 2 Sundays ago. I get back to the boat ramp. And Clint's there, and he's like, "Rob, you missed it, dude." I was like, "What I missed?" He was like, "A car went head first down the ramp, no trailer, and I'm just a car
Oh my
down
God,
the ramp
dude.
Speaking
into
of
the
boat
water,
ramp etiquette,
Listen.
don't drive your car in the water.
into the water." And then he was like, "While they're towing that out." And this is when I get there, it just got towed out. Another boat launches with no plug in it. And he was like, and then Clint's like, and they're sinking right now because they launch with no plug and the boat's sinking.
Damn.
Then there's a guy who never drove with a trailer before trying to back his trailer up, dude. Like, you got to talk to Clint about this. I wish we could get Clint
That's
on and tell the story.
funny. You mentioned
I'm just getting to the boat ramp, right? So this guy, Clint was like, he's been here like half an hour trying to back it
Should
up.
have been
I'm
running down there with your camera, like,
He's like, yeah, right. He's like, I'm gonna go ask him, does he need help? Clint had to get in the truck and back his truck up for him to get it out. While the other people that were sinking, meanwhile, finally got their boat out of the water, but it was full of water. So they parked right there, blocking everybody, letting all the water drain. Like, water's just coming out the plug like
What's
insanely.
that bilge buttons do?
So,
Dude, I'm telling you, it
Nothing
was the
wrong.
craziest day
Nothing wrong.
ever. I had just got there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then Clint was like, you all right, Rob? I was like, yeah, I'm good, but what the hell's going on here, dude?
so I was at Deep Creek one year. It was the first year that I ever fished Deep Creek out of my boat,
that ramp is
and
crazy.
I launched my boat. My dad's fishing with me. My
Crazy
dad's
wind
fishing
all
with
the
me
time.
first. That was one day. And we're running around. We hit like 3 places, and we get to the 3rd place, and we're spending a little more time on it. It's a nice little point, covered, got a lot of grass.
yeah.
On it. I'm fishing. I turn around and look around, and the whole floor of my boat is covered in it has like 2 inches, like 2
Forgot the
inches of
plug.
water in there.
Forgot
I've been
to
fishing for like an hour and a half without my plug in,
Mhm.
but I had been running so much that it would just suck the water out. So it would suck the water out, and then so I had to go swimming in Deep Creek to get my plug in.
Mm.
I went fishing with a dude forgot to put
That's
the plug
cold.
in.
Actually, what was cold was it was really cold that morning. The water was like 70 degrees, but it was only like 45 air temperature.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I went fishing with a
it
guy
was
who
like
forgot
late
to put the
September.
plug in and didn't have a plug.
I went to Deep
So we
Creek
jumped in
one
the
time.
water and stuffed a frog in the hole. It worked.
Oh, I've done with the
It worked.
swim bait. Like, I
It
forgot,
worked,
like,
dude.
literally couldn't find the plug. And
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, stick a frog. Go for a hollow body frog and stuff it in the hole, dude. It works. It worked.
Yeah.
We fished. We fished the rest of the day.
Yeah, wet rag will work too.
We pulled out the boat ramp like frogs hanging out the plug hole. Delays.
Oh, that's all that matters.
That's shit.
That's good shit.
Right.
But we're all doing the same dumb shit.
It's better than
Yeah.
launching and letting your boat sink and not doing. Oh, I'm gonna get the truck, like jump in the water and stuff something, like put a plug in it, dude. Like
Use
do
a
something.
rag.
Yeah.
You get a rag as long as
Yeah.
you just get the rag wet. Just get it wet in the water first, and then just jam it in there.
Sitting there all no, we're sinking. What we gonna do?
Yeah, there's a lot of boat ramps. I can give you.
It was a salt.
I can talk about boat ramps.
Boat, by the way.
I'll tell you,
Probably
me
didn't have a
and,
boat.
me and Steve were out
Figures.
fishing one
Yeah.
day, and we went across the mud
Figures.
flat like we're not supposed to do ever, and we freaking smoked a log.
You're not supposed to go across the mud flats.
Is that the video recently?
No, that wasn't that one.
No,
That was the other one.
That's like 1 of 10 logs.
That's after I fixed my boat. After we blew like 10 rivets out of the bottom of my
Oh,
boat.
fuck.
Dude.
Is that when you? Is
So
that,
like we're out there freaking fishing, and I kind of like I go back to like look at I don't know why. I just went back and like opened up the back hatch. I think I had just gotten my brand new batteries, and there's like a ton of water in the back, and I was like,
That's probably not good.
I was like, this boat is normally pretty dry. Like, we'll leap a little bit here, a little bit there. Sometimes when you with the jack
leaks a little
plate,
here or there.
when the jack plate on it, it'll throw water over the back when you turn sharply.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
but I'm like, that is excessive for the trip that we just took. So I'm like, whatever. Close the lid, finish out fishing.
Yeah, I'm not done.
I do something.
Get partially
so that's
like
not
turn
bad.
into the 6 mile an hour zone. Open up the back thing. My batteries are like halfway
Oh yeah.
under the water at this point, and I was
Been
like,
there.
oh shit! Like turned on my bilge pump, Started
You should have
building
done
it.
that when you first saw the water in there.
It like, yeah,
Is
it
this,
wasn't like
is this how your ears are bent the opposite way than they're supposed to go on your prop? Is this how that happens?
that's how this happens.
That is pretty funny for anybody for everybody out there who's never seen Chad's boat or hasn't seen Chad's boat recently. So normally you got a cup in your prop that looks like this. Well, Chad's are like this.
the opposite way. He's like, no, it's good.
The ears of the prop actually point toward the boat instead of away from the boat.
It's gonna get to, it'll get to the point where he puts it forward and it starts going backwards.
Going backwards or something?
Then
No,
he
dude, like,
planes
I literally
across like a foot of water, like yelling and screaming, like, ah!
It's
I will-
it's a aluminum prop. They've been.
I will plane out across this mud flat. I run this mud flat in the gunpowder all the time. Like, depending on the tide, it can be freaking 2 feet. It can be 6 inches.
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
The minefield. That's what I call
The
it.
minefield. When you, as soon as
Yeah.
you come out of the 6 mile an hour zone, you can like get up on plane. If you would just hook a right and cut straight across that.
Yeah.
By the bridge. You'd see
Yeah, dude.
the
Like
bridge.
No,
I
way
run
before
that.
you get to the bridge.
No,
There's
way
some
before.
fiberglass
way
boat guys
before you
that'll
get to
do
the
it.
bridge.
So you know the
Downtown?
Not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
As
there's
soon as you come out of Mariner Point Park and you finally get to the very first set of buoys,
right where the 6 mile an hour.
just
Yeah.
just
hang
go
right.
right.
90 degrees right and good.
Yeah, you can see the bridge there.
Yeah, well, you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I'll go out and I'll follow the bridge.
Right,
I get
like
right
most
up
of
on
us
the
So
bridge.
there's a lot of
No,
things that you
he's-
can't see there
he's
also.
straight across.
I even
Yeah.
got a jack plate. I'm probably not.
He's not making it to that second set of buoys. That's too far. He's hooking it right and straight
Yeah,
through
dude,
that shit.
I've been-
We
I've
might
been
have
doing
taken my fiberglass boat into that on plane yesterday.
we certainly did.
You did. You
Yeah.
set that.
Yeah,
You
we
set
did.
your boat down in some sketchy area.
Got to risk it for the biscuit.
Well,
as
we
Chad
got
says.
I kind of memorized the
that's a
path.
groundster saying that.
I told him, I said, if
that
I get
held
no
on
bad
to.
spot, just start shaking your hands and I'm shutting it off.
I kind of memorized the path already because I go through there on my boat.
Dustin has a good comment there. I love the people who think they have to get in the water to launch or retrieve their boat.
Oh yeah.
So yes, the guys who have no idea what they're doing.
Back their trailer down too far.
Back their
the boat's
trailer
floating
all the
over
way
the
in.
bunks and everything.
They wade into the water like waist deep to try to guide their boat on the trailer. Like you can drive that boat onto the trailer.
Yes, Dan, we have, and that's what I was just saying. Like Kevin, I kind of know the path, so we were kind of safe. I was going by memory because I don't have my depth finder. We were on his boat, but
I don't know. Paul said I took the wrong
kinda-
line, and Paul's usually always right. So.
Nah, did we hit anything?
We didn't.
There you go.
So
This time.
so Rob,
That mud flat changes.
When
It
you guys-
changes.
Oh, they all do. They all
Don't
do.
There might have been a big trail of mud behind us, but we didn't hit anything
we didn't
solid.
hit no logs.
So for a glass boat, Rob,
It's different. I understand.
so when you came around that reed point, he came too far to the left. If you go straight out,
A little
water, there's a
farther.
little depression out there. You can get on plane.
Mm.
So for your boat, you can just go. You can
Yeah,
go
it's
straight
different
across.
for me. Right.
But at glass boat, you kind of have to come straight, go straight toward the bridge,
Right.
and then the water deepens out. That creek channel comes out in there, and you'll
We were coming in. We
Like
didn't
me-
have enough
me and
water to
Chad
get on
can-
plane.
We can do stuff.
I mean,
So
I
we
got
had
on
to
plane.
idle.
I got on.
There was no water there. Literally, fish finder were just 3 lines. There was not even 0. There was just 3 lines. I said, "There's no water to get on plane right here. We're idling out."
The
Even
fish
though-
finder said you're
You also
fucked.
have to do- I'm sure Kevin probably already knows, if a good shallow water, a shallow water tip for. You can do it in an aluminum boat. You can do it in a glass boat, but if you're in shallow water, that's you can't go straight and take off.
Adam in his jet boat. I go anywhere I can see.
And so if you if I can't go this way and take off, I don't have enough water. Turn your boat all the way to the right. Crank your wheel as hard as you can to the left, and just mash the gas. It'll kick up on plane. So because your motor's turned all the way sideways,
Right.
instead of your boat digging down, it'll dig out.
Yeah.
Apparently,
and
it's
it'll
not
just it'll shoot
shallow.
you right up on plane.
It's not shallow till you see the bird ankles.
The bird angles.
I like that.
But Dustin said, I kind of like that.
I like
too.
that.
Right.
I tell these guys all the time. I go by the Tommy Biffle rule. If I can't see it, it ain't there.
Right. Like a tornado.
Oh yeah, dude. I've seen you go across Days Cove before.
Like the lightning.
Like the lightning.
Oh yeah, but that day's go I ran.
I don't know. Kevin looked at me.
Dude,
and
take
he
the
saw
same
the
line,
lightning.
like,
So he's like, let's get out
I
of
kept
here.
seeing the reflection
What's
on
the
the
water
water,
blow
and it's
up?
behind me. I'm like, "You see that?"
Dude, Kevin
He's
picked up one rod and he was like, I don't know, that's too long. Just like too short a rod.
There's subtle
That was-
differences.
I'm not-
Subtle differences.
I'm like, "That extra 11 inches right there is gonna make a big difference."
That's what she said. No, Dave's go. If there's any water, unless it's super super low. I mean, if I'm on plane, I really only need.
Well, you can always see the channel better when it's low.
I only need this much water.
I can play through all that. So jack it up.
As long as there's
As long as there's no logs, I'm good.
all I need is enough water to cover my cover my
I
cavitation.
think I'm just gonna buy a hydraulic jack plate.
The rest of it,
Dude, the micro jack, I got mine off Amazon.
Yeah.
It was like a couple $100.
I don't think a
You got a
micro
hydraulic
jack.
jack plate?
Yeah.
I don't think a micro jack's gonna
What
work.
size- what size
Yeah,
plate do you have?
it might
I got
bottom out.
it.
It might not lift it.
What'd you say?
18-foot bass trap.
So you got aluminum boat?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a hydraulic jack plate on an aluminum boat.
What
It's pretty
how much horsepower you run?
40 horsepower.
You have a
16
hydraulic one?
Yes.
Do you get with the Atlas? Micro
Yeah, I
jack?
got the micro jack plate.
Martin has a good comment.
I don't even use it that much, but it's
16 and a half foot. I use it all the time, dude. As soon as I full throttle, start raising it up. I get more RPMs too.
really.
I go,
It
yeah.
slows me down if anything.
Really, it must be the difference in it. What horsepower do you
I got 90 horsepower.
Oh, well, yeah. I got
Is
40
yours
horsepower.
hydraulic?
Yeah.
And it still slows you
You
down?
have the same one, the Atlas?
Yeah, the micro
I
jack.
love
if
it.
you go-
I never had no problem.
Oh, it's
with it.
awesome with it.
If you
I
really
mean, if you go way high, it's gonna slow you down. Because
Yeah.
you're
Well,
gonna
you remember
start
when I
down.
put mine up too high when you were on my boat.
Maybe
Yeah.
if you go like
You can pull the motor out of the water.
an inch or less up, it might help. A little
Yeah.
bit
Well, if you
higher
trim
RPM.
up and you jack plate all the way up, you can pull the motor. You can over trim.
Not on my
mine. But on mine,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can.
I just keep on trimming that thing till it stops.
Once
Right.
you, I
Just keep on sending it.
I run full trim everywhere.
Whoa.
I run full
Cabin
trim in
crazy.
Kevin's boat when I'm driving it.
Let it rip.
His
I
boats
hate
are way
that
more
noise.
fun to drive than mine.
If we're not doing 70 plus, I'm
Dude,
not having
Kevin's
fun.
got a Japanese beetle on his back.
Oh, I got it.
Why you got Japanese beetles
It's
in your
dead
house?
now.
I'm not gonna lie. The worst thing that
I didn't even
I'm
see
sorry,
that.
like-
Like, I didn't see that.
the worst thing I ever did
Actually,
when my
that'd be
when my motor was blowing up last year, I borrowed Kevin's boat to fish a club tournament,
Yeah.
and
Get up
I was on the back channel flat, and I got over in the channel, and I just absolutely romped it coming up through there, and I'm doing like 71 up the back channel, and I'm like, I called Kevin as soon as I was going. I was like, dude, this is the worst thing I could have ever done. He's like,
Was-
why? Because I need a faster boat now.
It's funny because his rider called me right after he did. He said, "Man, you sure do got a lot of trust in Paul, man. He was doing like 70 mile an hour in your damn boat." I'm like, "Yeah, he's all right."
I mean, I was doing it in 12 foot water. It's not like I wasn't going to run his boat. Like I never fished on the main flat that day and ran the main flat like I normally would that
Now,
time of year.
Chad
That's what insurance is for.
Chad runs across water that even I wanted. Like he runs across that flat. That you go. I won't give up your juice, but you go even way more shallow.
Well, you know why?
Way more
He-
shallow.
He's gonna risk it for that biscuit.
Oh, Chad!
You should-
Chad's like yelling when he does it too. It's funny. He's like, ah!
Get
Fuck off!
a lasso of cowboy hat as he's going across the flat.
He's got like the tiller handle too, so he's always like.
And I'm like, I'm either gonna smoke this log or I'm gonna get on some fish.
No,
But
me
I'm
and Evan heard
making
you.
it,
Me
like-
and Evan was like, and one day Chad did that shit. He's like, ah,
So if Rob thinks the mud flies are bad down here, he needs to ride with me and Tony on Conowingo. We're running through like rock these rock walls that are like a little bit bigger than this room.
No, yeah.
Boom! 60
That's
miles
why
an
I
hour
don't.
through 'em.
Like, man, you
That's
see
why
that
I
rock
would
down
not
the
go
side
out
of the
there with
damn
somebody
bus?
that doesn't know it. There's like rocks
almost
almost bigger
big
than
as
this house in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Goes
There's
from
a-
100
there's
foot to
some-
3.
Some
Right,
school
yeah.
bus
That's
rocks.
insane.
Yeah, as long as you know where they're at, you're fine.
Yeah, but I don't know where they're at. That's what I'm saying.
Well, let's wait. You gotta
You can't
you
see
gotta-
'em.
You see them when you're on top
What
of
you
them.
do?
Cause my brother went like trimmed it high and let it fly up there, and I'm like, dude, there's like rocks up here, we will die. And he's like, we're good. We're just flying through it. Like, luckily we made it.
So what you do, Rob, is when you idle and you turn those electronics on that you never use,
You mark a path.
and then you can see where the boulders are. I
I've
used
hit
to.
them up there. I mean, I have.
You
One
hit
second.
some of them big rocks? up there?
Idling.
1 second.
Idling.
Hey babe. I fixed the sink.
Hell yeah.
You're such a
Good
sweet
job, man.
I mean, I put my boat on
That was
top
secret
of
stuff.
it.
Nobody
He
can-
owns
So
that
let's get back to
situation.
fishing here. Come on.
So fishing.
The
What about
etiquette.
fishing?
The
I got like 5
Oh,
more
there we
minutes.
go. I looked for one. I couldn't find one.
Paul said
Another
I'm
5
gonna be
minutes. 5
leaving in a
minutes.
couple minutes, like
Gosh, baby.
like 50 minutes ago.
Join the show.
Thank you.
Run the wings to the right. Or wingo.
Run the wingo to the right.
Good
I
job,
have a-
Chad Fiction.
Adam, I actually have a pass on the left.
Apparently it was
Muted
not.
the mic. I
Apparently it
didn't
was
think
not
anybody
muted.
could hear us.
But apparently you did a good job.
No, he's just saying good job because you said good job.
Oh, maybe.
I
Oh,
fixed
is
the
it-
sink, everybody.
Chad
I
fixed the sink.
I got a pass on the left side of Conowingo that I can run above Bear Island on. I only do it when I'm fishing it a
Well,
lot
me and you were on probably.
because it's not a very good trail, and you got to really in a glass bass boat. I know, Adam, you got a pretty jet boat, so
He said send it to the bridge, and we
if
ripped
I
the
see
left too.
if I see liquid, I'm hitting it.
You weren't
So-
muted, by the way.
I want to buy a jet boat now.
Everybody knows you
So-
fixed the sink. Good job.
When I'm
I did,
fishing,
I
when I'm
fixed
fishing up
the
there a
sink.
lot, I do have a trail that I can run up the left side. I can run all the way to the top of Bear Island at least, up to where past the cut through and
Where the splits
shallows
are.
out,
Right?
past the splits.
Okay.
Do you ever fish up Conowingo?
I've been with Robert a few times. We took mine up there.
Is the snakehead fishing good up on Conway?
There is-
Oh no, kind
No?
of. Oh no.
They are.
No.
They are.
They
in there,
are up
though.
there, like
Yeah, they are.
So do you guys know the story behind that?
No.
They got
So-
lifted over the fish.
So
boat.
during COVID, what is now Constellation, but what before was Exelon, they were trying to do as minimal people in the Conowingo Dam as possible as employees, so they shut the fish lift down. So when the people finally came back, up goes the lift and open the gates wide open on it. Well, it's full of snakeheads.
Cool. So bullet.
Hell
And
yeah.
before they realized it, like 35 or 40 of them got out, and they went out there with nets and got some, but they couldn't get all of them.
So you can.
There's-
I've caught them in Conowingo.
Oh, yeah,
Last
caught them in there.
time we were up there, I saw one that was. I'm not going to say it was as big as Nate's, but it was big. And in one of those open tournaments, somebody brought one
Yes,
back
thank
that was like 11 pounds.
She's awesome.
So
dude.
they
Yeah, I
they
think
are
the best.
being caught up there,
Shallow
and
still.
it's pretty much it's like Broad Creek.
I could
Punk's
see
pond
him-
is full. Punk's pond is like insane with snakes.
Full of snakeheads?
I could see Funk's Pond
Yeah,
being a
Funk's Pond.
snakehead honey hole.
That's what you got going out there.
That's on the Cecil side, right?
Yes. But I've seen multiple. in
I didn't know-
Broad Creek, and I've caught
I've
fish in Glencoe.
I mean, just following all the pages on Facebook, they were PA already, and it had
Oh,
to be
yeah.
through this.
like everybody knew it was a
No,
matter
they were
of
through the
time.
Susquehanna.
So I mean,
They were
not to
through
like.
fucking buckets. That's how they got to fucking Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
To get up that high,
Same with
probably,
Black
yeah.
Raven.
They didn't. So there were people that were trying to say there was one caught in Lake Redman, and Lake Redman is pretty much cut off from everything else except for one pipe that goes from Lake Redman 27 miles to the Susquehanna River. It's a 10-inch pipe.
Is that like
They'll get up
Jersey?
that. They will get up that.
Like Redmond?
Yeah.
No,
That's the
York-
one
They
on the
did not
side
get
of
up that.
83. isn't it?
83, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
right in the-
Drive right
They
over.
did.
Yeah.
Not that
Somebody
they
will
can't get up
dump
it,
them in
they
there
did.
though.
That fish did not come from the
Oh,
Susquehanna
yeah.
River at Harrisburg and swim through a pipe 27 miles to get to Lake Redman.
No.
Somebody
That's
dumped it.
But you
Same
know
way,
what?
Same way they got into
They will.
Black Raven. Same way they got into Pretty Boy.
Yeah.
Same way they got into Wood.
I don't
They're
know.
in Pretty Boy now? I'm sure they probably are.
All the
They're in
reservoirs have
Liberty.
snakeheads in them.
Are they?
Yeah, somebody
But
called one.
All the reservoirs have snakeheads
Yep.
in them.
I know Lock does.
Lock Raven.
Yeah,
does?
Lock Raven.
Somebody called one in Liberty last week,
Really?
Yeah.
I did see that.
and I'm sure they're in Pretty Boy too. Because
It's been smaller ones that I've seen. Nothing.
Apparently, they're not very prevalent, like up in like the Pennsylvania river system and shit. Like apparently, they haven't like worked their way up there yet. But
so they're
definitely
Philadelphia. Philadelphia area is there's a lot of huge population around Philadelphia.
The Delaware River's got a lot of them.
Yeah, Delaware River. That whole
Martin said
Philadelphia
like
area.
Well, that's
Lake
good.
Anna,
That's
too.
just connected easily just through.
Yeah, Lake Anna's got some. I think their lake record's up
They've
to
been there
11
longer
pounds
than
now.
they've been down here, though.
Shawshank
Really?
snakehead.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Nice.
In fact, funny story. DNR did some DNA testing, and the snakeheads that are in Blackwater came from the Philadelphia area.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are they?
They can
Because
Chloe.
the biggest way that snakeheads spread, and I'll carry this to the grave. The biggest way snakeheads spread are through a bucket.
Oh,
Yeah, it's got to be.
I bet you DNR is doing it.
Dude, we almost forgot.
Yeah, but they're-
I want you
I'm a conspiracy
That's
theorist
5
here.
more days.
Yeah,
That's
that's that many
Don't
more
go to
people are
jail,
buying
man.
fish. Yeah, you're right.
We're,
I should shut
we're
up now.
tagging them. to study.
Before, because we almost forgot, we never heard the Robert Murphy
Oh.
story.
Okay, so
Almost. I didn't want to forget him. That's
So
Can we
me and
have- can we-
last year, me and Rob Murphy, and for those of you guys that know Rob's a military like I am. Now Rob's been in a lot longer and has done a number of deployments with the Special Forces units around the country. So he's
wow.
been around.
Oh, wow.
He's
Thank
done
you for
some
your
Thank you,
service.
thank you,
Thank
thank
you
you,
for-
thank you.
done some shit, right?
We appreciate
Now,
it.
very humble guy, won't, doesn't parade like, oh, badass, whatever. So we're at Conowingo. And Rob was launching his boat by himself. I was launching my boat by myself, and Rob was launching his boat, and I'm 2 boats behind, and 1 boat behind him. There's 1 person in between us, and Rob's launching his boat, and this guy behind him just starts laying on the horn, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Oh, he like,
Dude, and it wasn't just a little like love tap, like, hey, you good? It was like laying on it, like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. I'm just sitting, I'm laughing. I'm like, because it's going to happen, right? So, we're getting down there, and the Rob's launching his boat, and as I'm launching mine, I watch Rob walk past his boat on the dock and stand right next to this other dude's boat, and this guy finally comes down. He's like, so what's the fucking problem? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, Rob, come on, man. It was awesome. He's like, no, I want to know why this motherfucker's peeping at me.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit. Here we go. And then there's some old guy who just didn't expect that you were going to say anything to him, of course. He's like, well, I wasn't me. And he was like, really? There were fucking 3 cars in line, and I know it wasn't the other guy. So, like, what the hell's going on? Oh, it was funny as shit.
There's 3 cars on line, and the other one's a friend of mine. So.
Right, yes. Dude, it was funny. And I was laughing my ass off. It's some old guy, so who cares? But it's just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That shit was funny.
Yeah, see, I never get that upset. I never got upset enough to get in a confrontation. I kind of just sit back and go like, what the fuck? Whatever.
Yeah. Not in the same way.
I'm going to sit here and let all this shit just happening, and then I'll pull my boat out when it's over with.
You saying they're just going to waste more time?
Yeah.
Less time fishing.
I'm just going to watch it. I'm just going to watch this shit.
To be fair, at the boat ramp, I'm usually pretty patient. Like I'm never in any big rush to leave, so I don't really care that much. And I usually get there early enough that I'm not bothered.
Right.
But
When you
on
come
the
back,
water,
though.
well, when I come back, I'm usually not in any rush to leave, so I'll go fish around the marina.
Who always gets there first on Thursdays, though?
Well, yeah, because
just reminding.
The solstice, Paul sent me a message on Facebook at like 1 o'clock. Is this early enough, Rob? And he's like, I did boat at like 1 o'clock.
But we were the first boat to launch, weren't we?
Until 6 p.m. where he's at the boat ramp at 1.
So that day, there's an explanation for that. So
I
had to I had to rig up all my rods, and I had to re-spool a bunch of rods, and I had like 2 hours worth of shit to do. And I was like, well, I can do it in my hot ass driveway, or I can go down to the park and park under the trees and at least do it in the shade. So
I get it.
go down there. Yeah, so like boat ramp, like I'm usually pretty patient at the boat ramp. Like I don't have too much of an issue at the boat ramp. Every now and then we run into a guy like me and Kevin ran into D-bag. But on the water,
I said a few choice words.
I will do some. I get pretty hot.
I know.
And I'll say shit. I'll just keep. So if you pull up on me on the water like in an unnecessary manner, like and start fishing right next to me, Jim Goins was fishing next to me on the Potomac one time, and we're like 3/4 of the cast apart. We're both power poled down. Jim's casting like toward my boat. Like we're fine. We're cool. Like we were talking. I'm fishing out this way. My rider's fishing out this way, and this dude like circles around behind us and then comes right up in between us. So like I set my salt plastic down and I pick up a rattle trap and I just start casting in front of his trolling, right in front of his trolling motor, so that he can't cast, like in a way that he cannot cast, like casting over his line, and he's still just sitting there fishing. So like he trolling motors up a little farther, and I reach back and let a 3/4 ounce rattle trap just fucking eat into his fucking cowling on his motor. And he never said a word. He just picked up his trolling motor, idled out, and took off on plane. Like I guess he got the point. Like
I guess he got the point at that point.
As I'm,
Why even bother like with that though? Like why even bother? Like why do that?
I don't have. Why did he do that?
Well, not only like number one, like if there was fish there, what made you think the pulling up right in the middle was going to put you on fish? And you probably just wrecked the juice that they were on.
Exactly, which is why I started doing what I did. At that point, like I was having a really bad tournament anyway, and I was just trying to put my rider on fish because he had 3 good fish. So I was just trying to let him fish and get a good bag and get good points. I had 1 keeper. I had lost a couple of. So I didn't really have anything to lose at that point. So like fuck that dude.
Dude, I fish with Evan all the time. You guys know Evan, and he has no filter. And you don't want to, Evan's off the hook. And we were in
Really? I never.
right, yeah. Evan, but we're fishing, and that little cut through that goes into the pond.
Yeah.
So here comes this saltwater boat. This older guy on a saltwater boat, and apparently he's a guide, and he's got like clients with him. And
I'm a guy.
and he just like goes right through there like way over 6 knots while we're fishing it. You know how small that is. So Evan's like, "Really, dude? You're fucking old enough to know better."
I was
It was pretty good. I was like sitting there like, it happened that quick. As quick as I told the story, that's how quick it happened. And I was like shocked. I was like,
in the canal going back to the pond.
it's
So
like
I was-
a little cut. The little cut.
It's deep.
He like went through there like shot us a big ass wake while
So-
we're in there flipping.
Yo, it's like
Yeah, and Evan's like,
I was
"You're
fishing.
fucking old enough to know better, dude."
I was fishing a tournament.
Call his
with a-
age out.
Old enough to know better.
Well, Evan's like, he's young, so he's like,
I was fishing
"You
a
should know
tournament.
better."
I was fishing a tournament on the flats one day. I was fishing with Rob Steiner was on the back of my boat. And we're fishing a milfoil patch that's not much bigger than this table. I mean, maybe like 2 of these tables. I'm power pole down, just making we're making every cast. So there we're fishing. And, again, it's coming. Boat comes around behind me, like he's going to go out around, gets over onto the side, and starts casting this way, like right into it. And I just looked over at him and went, "You want to just fish for my boat?" and he's like, "What?" I'm like, You're just gonna fucking cast right in front of my fucking boat?
That shit makes no
Like,
sense.
are you that big of a fucking asshole? Oh yeah, you're from fucking Pennsylvania. I guess you are.
I have seen people out there on the flats
So-
with binoculars
So then he's
watching
like,
people in the distance.
Was it Paul?
It might have
no,
been.
I don't have. There are no binoculars.
The guy did have a
So then the
champion,
guy.
so
So then the guy's just like, well, I'm just trying to go by. I'm just trying to go around. I'm just
I
trying to
think
go
I see
around.
his rod.
Well, then don't fucking cast, you asshole.
Definitely a white chatterbait, dude. I'm telling you right now.
Yep.
I've
He's
seen
on
him
that
catch two
he's
or
on that
more.
bent rod pattern.
So my
Bent rod pattern.
my big thing is if I'm in an area where there's a couple people fishing, and let's say there's a grass patch, and I start at one end, and there's a couple boats in the middle, and I just want to work through it. When I get close to them, I'll put the rods down, just so it's clear. I am just moving through.
And you
I'm
give them
not
space.
fishing your shit. Right. I'm putting my rod down.
That's what I do.
I'll put my rod down and just close my arms like this, and I'll go through. And once I've got
Troll
some
them over
room,
by or
then
whatever.
I start fishing again.
You're such a
Like-
gentleman, Tony.
Like, I do it all the
Same
time.
thing.
Like that's just what you're supposed to do, in my
Right.
opinion.
Tony is so non-confrontational, but he is just like
Always getting in confrontation.
no, he's not always getting covered. It's just like
He's the most
it's just like-
intimidating of us.
And there's like so many
Right.
times where I've been on the boat with Tony, and I'm like looking at somebody. I'm like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" And Tony's like, "Just don't worry about it." And I'm like, "You're fucking huge. Do something
Because
about it." I'm like,
I don't go out there and
Do something about it.
Where's the wrestler?
Fight
In you.
him. I want you to fight him.
I don't go out there to get pissed off. All that shit gets done at work. How many times have I called?
Oh, that
you?
gets done at work.
How many times have I called you, or we've been on the phone when I'm at work, and you just hear me in the background like, "What the fuck?" Like just some stupid shit. Like
Yeah, or
It's like-
you're taking a shit, one or the
Well,
other.
when I go out to go fishing, I'm out to have a good time. I don't go out there to fucking motherfuck somebody. Like it's not.
It's not worth
They don't
it.
ruin. I don't care if I'm 100% in the right and they're 100% in the wrong. That like ruins my whole day, and I'm not about that. Not while I'm out.
You know
fishing.
that is true. It will mess your mindset up when you're
Oh,
out there fishing.
And at the
Like,
end of the
definitely.
day,
Sometimes.
technically,
It'll mess mine up.
You
Trust
just
me.
keep
I'm
thinking.
a-
Like that dude that came between you and I that one tournament.
Yes.
I just had to laugh. I'm like,
What?
I got to laugh this off because we're arguing on some.
Wait,
That
What's
was
that-
so.
what's
That was
story?
the tournament that he placed first.
No,
No,
I,
you
I,
placed
I
first.
placed
Yeah.
first
The one
and
you
beat him
won,
by like less than a pound.
this year.
Yeah.
What happened?
So
There's
we
like
were
3
fishing the
boats that
grass.
come in between. It was a circus over there. I was watching it laughing.
we were fishing
Yeah.
the grass, and Chad was
It was the
probably
juice.
I don't know, maybe 30 yards in front of me. You were fishing in his.
Yeah, I remember.
I was
that.
pretty far away from him.
We were by you.
We weren't
Yeah.
in casting distance, but we were within yelling distance to each other, which was
Yeah,
fine. We
yeah.
were not close. Well, this boat comes literally on the big motor in between the two of us. No, like in the middle of the grass, churning up mud. and
Right
he-
where you're casting.
Oh, I just caught a 4.5 pounder, like literally 2 casts before he came in front of me. And I'm like, looking at him, like, hey man, what are you doing? and he's coming along. He's looking dead straight.
He's a young kid.
He is.
He's a young
I don't
kid.
know if he knows any
I
better.
remember this now.
Yeah.
So
I know
I'm winging a frog out in front of him, like hoping he's going to see it and maybe like jump off the gas motor and maybe get on the
Time to
trolling
learn,
motor.
motherfucker.
He keeps on going.
Young kid or not.
And
I don't think they
I
knew
had my
any better.
cousin on the back of the boat. And let me tell you, I got
But
a
if
lot
you
of
don't-
stories about him
If you don't say anything,
getting pissed
They'll
off
never learn.
when we're
if
fishing.
you don't say anything to someone,
They don't know.
If
if
Learn,
they
don't
don't,
learn.
even if they don't know better, if you don't say anything to anyone, they're never going to learn that they're doing
Right.
something
So
wrong.
even if they're young
and they're
kids, you
gonna
gotta be like, you're
continue
being a
to do
dumbass right now, and then that's how
And
they
I
learn.
think that's what it was. I just
That's how
don't
they
think he's a
Like, I'm
younger
not saying
kid.
you
He
need to
didn't know
yell
any
at them
better.
and be an asshole.
Well,
Like,
right.
I think he
But
just
you need
needed
to
some
educate
guidance.
So
I'm an
Yeah,
asshole to
educate them.
people that are assholes to me.
We
If you're
all
just-
did not know till we knew. We had
Exactly.
to be educated on it as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, a lot of it has to do
Nobody
with like
knows.
common sense as well too. When you see a bunch of people fishing a flat, like why are you going to cut right in between like two boats that are
I
so
don't know.
far
Boat
apart?
did it to me, Kevin,
However,
and
like,
Paul
it was
over the
like-
weekend.
He was
Yeah.
a young kid, I will say, and I wasn't going to say anything really either.
It was close.
Your rider said something.
Of course you did.
Of course,
Your rider
Jason
said
said
something.
something. You haven't met Jason good enough yet.
So they came through, and then they got closer to me. And I wasn't going to say something. I was like, they're just going to get to the canal. I'm like, dumbest way possible to get to the
Yeah, I
canal,
don't know
but that's
what they
where
were
they're going. And then two of the kids on the boat stood up and picked up fishing rods.
Oh, they were ready to fish.
They were
Well,
ready
as
to
soon,
drop.
as soon
Yeah.
as he picked, he was
That's
like,
different.
he's so close to me. And two of the kids pick up fishing rods, and I was like, yo, I was like, what,
Give me a
I was like, what the
space.
fuck are you doing? And he's like, we're going to the channel, and I was like, are you fishing the tournament right now? I'm like, there's a tournament out here right now, right? You see all these boats? He's like, well, I didn't know there was a tournament. I'm just going back to the channel. I'm like, put down your fishing rods and go to the channel. I'm like, do not stop.
He
right
was
here to
not. He
fish.
was not even 20 yards off the back of his boat.
The,
He was
Like-
real close.
you know,
to him.
I'm all that. Like, I understand that. Like, if we're out there fishing a Thursday night tournament, I don't give a shit if somebody comes out there and fish. To
Yeah.
fun fish. That doesn't bother me in the least. But just be respectful to the other fishermen. I don't care if you're on the flats. You want to see
Yeah,
some fun and shit? Come out on the flats with me and May.
That's the
I'm
difference.
down.
That's the
I mean,
I went out
gonna
for a
catch fish.
snakehead tournament. There was like
But-
200 boats out on the flats,
Yeah.
by those islands, by back channel.
It'll be-
Dude,
Oh yeah.
it was insane
Yeah,
how many
yeah.
boats were.
Is
So-
this a raft up or are we fishing?
But just
Sometimes
be
it's hard to tell.
Like, I don't care if you're out there fun fishing or if you're a tournament angler and somebody else is out there fun fishing. Be respectful to other anglers on the water. It doesn't matter why
Yeah.
they're out there. We all have the same right to be out on the water, whether we're fishing for money or we're just fishing for fun.
Right.
It's
Nobody
Show some
owns the
respect.
water.
Just be courteous.
Even
Nobody
the
owns
jet
the water.
skiers got
Be
just the
courteous.
right to be there as we do.
And the thing of it is,
Don't be a dumbass.
Strong guy might
Don't
get
be a
more mad
dumbass.
on that one.
What I'm saying is, don't be a dumbass.
Yes, Martin, those fucking PA boats.
But
Pay
now,
'em all.
I will
Dude.
say that like most people, if you ask them or if you approach them calmly, like, hey, not last night, but the week before, we're coming in and there's a boat sitting at the mouth of the canal fishing, and I wanted to fish the lay down next to them, and they're pointed that way. So I said, hey, do you guys mind if I jump in front of you and hit this lay down? And the guy's like,
They
no,
probably
no.
like, no, cool.
He actually said, hey, that's great. Thanks for asking. Like, you guys go right ahead.
Rob and I
We
had a
ran
guy
in that the other day.
on a Sunday. Yeah, had a guy who's like, "Are you guys fishing up or back? Or, do you mind if I go right here in front of you and fish
Yeah.
up this way?" And he was totally cool about it.
As long as he asked, I didn't give a shit.
I
You
know
can fish right next to us.
He's a soul
And we told him, we were like, "Man, you can fish right next to us. It don't matter to us."
Just out of respect of asking, dude, pull up with us, fish with us.
But talking about
You don't ask, you just jump in front of someone.
That's
But
when it.
real
That's when
quick,
it
Paul,
sets a trigger.
that's the thing with the Thursday nighters and gunpowder, though. I truly believe that the group of people that we got to fish them, and this is why more people should fish them if you want to come and fish them. A lot of respect. Me and Kevin got on a little deal, and I know some people like you two and others seen some of the pictures we posted and knew, but stayed off of it. Was like, I know that's your deal. We're not going to mess with it. When you were on the grass, I said, that's your thing. I'm not going out there.
Yeah.
Disrespect.
Way more respect.
I know that
than
over
some of the other
that
places
side of grass
have.
over there you've been grinding on. That's yours. I'm staying off of. I'm
Right.
gonna go over to where I'm at.
And they didn't touch the stuff we were fishing.
Exactly.
And they
You
knew
know,
what we were
Dude, that
fishing.
was
I
like-
know Tony knew 100%,
I mean-
and I know Paul knows.
That
But
juice
Paul
in that
even
pattern.
told me, like, I didn't go fish it because I knew that was your thing, that
Yeah.
you felt it, that, it's hot right now and you're doing that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would have
the-
felt. I would have felt bad going in there. Like, you know, you told me you called.
Right.
You told me you called him there, and I would have felt like I went out there that day to pre-fish that, and I would have felt bad going in there behind you, and you know, you telling me you found him, and I just would have felt bad.
It doesn't work like that everywhere though, but it works with
It does.
the Thursday
We
night
definitely
play.
have some good
Yeah, I think
camaraderie.
we really got a
And
good
the
thing
group
and
of
a
guys that
good
we
group
fish
of
with.
people.
It works with a small.
And,
group of
and
people.
it is
Yeah.
important to say because we haven't brought it up yet, but I think in the last
Just keep
however
in mind
many
that's not the
weeks,
norm.
in the last however
Right,
many
it's not
weeks,
the norm.
somebody at this table has gotten first or second in every
Well,
tournament.
Bass, we've been in money every
There's-
week.
But
There's-
hold on, it gets better because we know the juice. We know what everybody is doing. Like I know where you're going, you know where we're all going, and we're all doing our own thing. And for the most part, whacking the shit out of them.
Mhm.
You guys won,
And-
right?
What's that?
You won one, right?
Yeah. So we
so
won.
you won one. Kevin
You
won
won
one.
one.
There's four. There's
Right.
4 wins. In that
Chad's
game.
got
I got
a
a
one.
second
You've
place.
been in the money
So
like the
different
last
spots.
month.
Wait a minute,
almost,
wait a
except
minute.
for this
Well,
past
me
one,
and Tony.
right?
Yeah.
Let's break this down real quick. Tony's won more than one, right?
No, I got a first and 2 seconds in a row.
First and 2 seconds.
You have
I
a
got a
second and a first.
You got a first. I got a second and a first. You got 2 firsts.
2 firsts.
2 firsts. And big fish.
I got Lunker.
I haven't
And
got
I
big
had-
fish.
I had
you
Lunker.
had big fish at all
So
this year?
I got
big
Lunker
fish.
on one of those.
I got
So-
a big. When we won, we had big.
I
So
can't
you had
remember
big
how-
fish,
I
he
think
had
it
big
was
fish, he had big fish.
3 pounds something.
3.
Yeah, I would say we're doing pretty good.
3
But the
quarters.
thing is,
Something like that.
somebody new comes in, they get on them. We're not the guys that are going to be like, oh, this new guy is catching them over here. Let's all go beat up his
Right.
spot. No, it's the
I-
kind of camaraderie. The
Let's
Thursday
jump him
night
in. Let's
is
jump him in
different.
the parking lot
It's
after the
different,
tournament.
right? Yeah, it's like
Take
that.
the, take the core out of his valve stems
Some other
already.
places are like that. Like you're not welcome, and like, but not.
It's
with
not that
what
you're
we
not
do.
welcome, but people will. I mean, people if you're fishing the flats and somebody sees you catch a fish, you'll have 20 boats around you.
That's my point. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
oh, yeah.
So
And then they
I
like
wanna-
that.
I
That is
wanna-
not how that works in these Thursday nights.
I want to go back to
It's
something
beautiful.
that
It's a
something that
beautiful
Kevin
thing.
said.
Beautiful
And
thing.
you know, like Kevin said, if you just ask. So I had a tournament on the northeast. I was fishing northeast, and I was fishing one bank. It's a very short bank, 75 yards of bank, and there's a rock. There's a rock island next to it. Everybody probably knows where it's at.
Hey, Carly.
There's a dock there.
My daughter.
And so I fished this. You know, I was fishing this bank up and down, and I went over and I fished a couple pilings on this dock. Saw a boat coming in on plane. I was like, okay, I'm trolling motor back over to here, and the boat comes in, sets down, and I'm trolling motor over to the bank, and he just keeps like moving out, like I'm going straight across to try to go like cut me off and go around me to get where I am. So I'm like, well, fuck this dude. Like he never said a word to me, never even looked at me. So I just stayed on the trolling motor. Dude almost ran his boat into the fucking rock jetty, trying to get around me, and then called me an asshole, saying that I owned the whole bank. When all we had to do was stop and say, "Hey, man, you mind if I go around you and fish down?"
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do. Is
I
ask.
never would have. I wouldn't have thought twice, and I knew exactly what he was fishing. I knew he was fishing a money tournament. I was fishing a club tournament. I'm just fishing a club tournament. I had like 13 pounds. If he had just stopped and asked, I would have been like, "Yeah, man, go ahead and have it."
That's all you gotta do. Because
Like
someone
that-
asked
that's
me,
what people don't
you can
understand.
fish
A lot
right
of
next
it's
to
just
me. I
like
don't
common
care.
courtesy
But if you
and
pull up,
respect,
start
you
fishing
know?
right next to me, I'm like, oh
Like
wow,
you
what a
see,
dick.
he saw when he sat down 50, 75 yards away from me that I was trolling motoring to that point, and he just did everything he could to go around me, and he almost ran his boat into a rock jetty.
Dustin says I grew up fishing the spoils on the Potomac in March. It's like rush hour traffic fishing.
Yeah.
I'm not
He
familiar.
isn't
So
joking.
the spoils is a wintering hole on the Potomac.
It's also where the Maryland State record.
It's also where I caught my
Through
PB.
the ice.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it was
There's
through the
also
ice.
a rock jetty.
It was not
that's
through
pretty
the ice.
close to
Well,
I can tell you
hold
exactly
on.
how it happened.
State
Well,
records
the
some time.
new state
So the
record.
title.
That's the
Title.
new.
Title one.
So I can tell you the story of how that
There's
fish was caught.
two state records. Hold on, Paul, real quick to clarify.
The last
One was
two
caught in
title
the
state
pond,
records came
but
out.
the actual one that was actually caught in the river was caught on the Potomac, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
caught in the spoil, and it was caught by Justin Riley. His
Riley?
dad is a good friend of mine, and we were talking about it one day when we were fishing we were fishing a tournament. I was a rider on his boat, and we were talking about that. So it was in January during a winter tournament, and they knew there were fish there, but it had gotten cold since they had pre-fished there, and there was skim ice all across the water that they
Oh.
could fish. So Ed turned his boat around backwards, put it in reverse, and just backed through and just and broke up all the ice. And as he was pulling back out, Justin throws a silver buddy off the back of the boat and catches an 11 pounder.
State record.
State
at the
record.
time.
Still
That
state record.
Still is.
Well, there was a kid that broke the record with a 12-pounder, but he called it in a pond.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
so
two
the-
separate
Farm
records.
pond,
Title and
yeah,
non-title.
title and non-title.
Right.
So
That's
the,
what I was trying
it's
to
the title record. So that same area is also where I caught my personal best title bass.
Which is
I
what?
caught an 8.03 out of there.
Damn, I want to catch 8.
Yeah.
Same
That's
same
solid.
place. Yeah, it was
I lost a couple
Caught in-
lower units there a couple years ago.
caught in December.
Not
I
gonna
lost
lie.
an 8-pounder there last
December-
year. I don't wanna
December,
talk about
42 degree water.
What
And
hurts? What hurts more, losing an 8-pounder or losing your lower unit?
8-pounder.
8-pounder.
Easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I knew insurance was getting my lower unit tab.
Does Andrew's shirt say snakes on the Dundee?
Yeah.
What's up with the shirt? dude?
So how about some snake talk for a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good
I
transition.
definitely, I
So.
definitely want to
Snakes
talk
or-
about.
I'm gonna use the bathroom
So,
real quick.
do you
I got
want
one
to-
question to ask real quick before we get started. Is that the best spot to go snakehead fishing, would you say?
Upper Bay wise, it's been my favorite spot.
Better
I
than
totally
Dundee?
agree.
For catching snakes. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I've been going for about 4 years now. I went out Jopletown, been Middle River. I just like Dundee. It's just my spot. You know what I mean?
Dundee.
Yeah.
What about on the bush? You ever been out to the bush?
Yeah, I've been out of the bush a couple times. My boy Nick Rogers, he's always out there. It's
Yeah.
definitely a good spot. They got big fish.
There's some hammers out there.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't.
I know.
I
Nick
just
is
don't like
like.
fishing. I don't like fishing the bush for snakeheads.
It's not my favorite
I'm like
either.
I'm like Dundee. I love Dundee.
Yeah,
That's where I go.
Dundee
If I want
is
to
some
catch
big-
snakeheads,
That's the
Yeah.
snakehead spot, right?
Yeah,
Do you think that it's because not a lot of people bass fish that anymore? So my theory is, like the gunpowder, there's a lot of bass fishermen on the gunpowder, and we kill a lot of snakeheads. That's not happening the same on Dundee. I think
no.
that's just a theory.
There's
It's a theory.
definitely
I
bow
promise-
fishermen.
I promise
heavy
the
in
No,
it.
boat fishermen are coming to Dundee.
I promise the bow fishermen take care of more snake.
Yeah.
Infinitely.
I'm not
more
worried about
snakeheads
any bass
than
fishing.
bass
Taking.
Yeah.
I'd take a couple snakes here and there too. I mean,
It's mostly boat fishermen.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for
wipe
sure.
them out.
Yeah, Dundee's pretty
You think they
popular
shoot
with the bow
bass?
fishermen.
No, I haven't seen. I mean, I follow a couple of the main guy was it like working class outdoorsman. I've never
Yeah.
seen a bass on his boat.
I think
That's a
Dundee.
nice.
I mean, dude,
Yeah,
that's
I think
that's just
so.
like that's a good way to like blacklist yourself.
I think
like,
Yeah,
the
I
waterman
don't-
now,
So it's just
personally,
carp, catfish, and.
I gotta get
snakehead
down
fishing?
there at night with a couple of lights and a generator just to see.
Oh, you
what's-
haven't done it.
No, I haven't. No.
I think
No, we
Dundee-
both have good boats to set up to go do that.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
know.
my buddy from just skateboarding, they'll light up skate spots with a little generator. And
Oh, you
have one-
skateboard?
Yeah, I'm a used to skater, but
Don't get me started.
Rob can do a
Oh.
kickflip.
I can.
okay.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
I can do double kick flips.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, grew up
Tony
all
Hawk's pro
through high
skater
school
over
skating.
Right?
You ever hear of Ridge? You ever hear of Ridge?
No, I'm old, dude. So like, I know
Ridge has
Jason.
been a while, actually. It was the documentary just came out about it, but that's
He only had one curve on his skateboard.
that's
That's not true. The board was just a lot wider. I skated with, Jason Chapman that owns Charm City. Rodney
Okay.
Jones is one of my best friends.
Ryan Jones is always at SOC State
Yeah.
Fusion back in the day when I was like,
Yeah, Rodney's my boy. I know Gumby. I know all them people.
Okay.
I'm a skateboarder at heart, dude. Now I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
bass fisherman. Chuck Tawney, who was
The president of Outcast for a long time.
we skated back in the '80s. He was skateboarding before he started skateboarding. Bass fishing must have some
Any
kind
of
of
you
connection.
guys-
dude.
what is?
I got a Plan B Paul Rodriguez skateboard in my house. It's
Really?
sitting there. Who wants it?
Me.
All right.
So I'll
All
take
right,
it.
P-Rod.
So, sold.
Plan
Plan
B. Yep. it's
Oh,
yours.
Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that might be worth some
P-Rod,
money
dude.
for real.
That's P-Rod, dude. His dad's a comedian. The
I remember-
comedian Paul Rodriguez's son is a professional
I
skateboarder.
bought
Paul
that.
Rodriguez.
I bought that at the old. It used to be on Cranbrook Road in Cockeysville. It's called Three Ride Shop.
Yeah, 3 skate shop. All my friends.
It's gone, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's been gone for
That's
a
why I
long time.
bought that.
You know Gary Smith too.
Yeah, he runs View Skate Shop. Gary's my man,
I know
dude.
Gary.
Gary is
So-
Yeah, I know
Gary's
Gary.
an
I know
awesome
Nick. I
dude.
know all them guys.
So
man.
my dad.
Oh, we gotta skate now, dude. We
Yeah,
gotta skate.
hell
We gotta make a skating fishing video. Right, dude. It's gonna be
So
shit.
Well, listen, Patapsco, they got the new skate park. Literally, I could probably pull the boat up to the skate park.
Really,
Yeah, it's
Where's this at?
right in the harbor, Inner Harbor. So you
really.
can launch out of Boston Street or something and go.
And there's a skate park there now.
Yeah.
There's a skate park of
It used to
Baltimore.
be the pavilion. Yeah, no, skate park of Baltimore is Hamden.
Hamden, where
Wait,
Gary's
wait,
shop is at. But
yeah,
I wonder
yeah.
if they built another one.
No, it was like the city paid for it.
Oh, now we're getting a skateboarding
Yeah.
show, dude. This
Dude,
about to
dude.
turn into the 9 Club.
I'll get all my buddies on here. They're all the ones.
Andy Andrews, dude. He's insane. Like I skated back in the day. I know all
Okay,
the
I'm not
old
familiar with that name.
check them out. It's like Rodney Mullins mixed with like freaking Ryan Streckler.
My favorite.
So
Dude, it's
not to
insane.
hijack the conversation.
Skateboarding. Don't get me
But-
started on skateboarding, dude.
Mr. Larry from Bass Munitions had an interesting comment. So he said they caught 3 on the buzzbait. I talked to
My
him
wife
yesterday.
said that.
He's working on some new designs for frogs and buzzbaits. All right, and we're going to be part of the first couple groups to test them out. So
Very
he had
excited
3
for that.
small ones on the buzzbait
Douglas.
yesterday, and then tried out 8 on the Terminator frog. Now, me and Mr. Larry, we sat down on the phone the other day. We talked about what I consider the juice on the frog and why I like certain frogs over other frogs. And he said, "Okay, let me test some stuff out." He's going to try to make some frogs, and I told him you should try these 3 frogs and tell me which one you like the most. Obviously, everyone knows I'm a Terminator frog guy.
Big
They don't
Terminator.
And I told him why I like the Terminator frog. So he went out and whacked him with Terminator frog. And I think we're going to get some pretty awesome.
So are
frogs.
you actually?
I will throw in here. So
Home
he caught
ramp
those-
was the shit.
He caught those on Lake Douglas. Lake Douglas is one of my favorite lakes in the country.
That's in Tennessee, right?
Yeah. It's such a cool lake. That is the lake that I learned to catch largemouth on. We were catching I fished a tournament down there. We were catching them at 35 feet away.
Let me see her toy.
Pretty freaking
Rob.
amazing.
Give me your toy. I'm gonna throw this out the door.
And shut
Close
the door.
Close the door.
Okay.
After
Oh,
So
Checkmate.
Dastardly deeds.
good old Lake Douglas. One of my favorite lakes in the country. Probably second to Lake Murray.
So, how long have you had the guide business now?
Oh,
'Cause you've been on Instagram. You really kind of blew up within the last probably 6 months.
I just said, fuck it, I'm doing this. And, I got my captain's license in 21.
Oh, congrats, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's a big
So,
deal.
like,
That's a lot of work. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
It was, I basically just went to the Napa School of Seamanship, took off work for a week, and got a motel, and was like, I'm isolating myself and not talking to anybody. I'm just going to study every night.
Yeah,
That's what I did.
because there's a lot of people out there that call themselves a guide but don't have.
Dude,
No,
I'm
but
nothing
that's-
special. Don't get me wrong,
that's-
nothing special. I just like fishing, and I enjoy meeting new people. And Snakehead's a new game, and I feel like I have a lot to offer to some people.
I definitely think
Yeah,
I
love
think
it.
you capitalized on it because, like you said, the Snakehead's the new game. I know so
I
many
agree.
people that are casual fishermen. When I say casual fishermen, they're not out there 2-3 times a week like all of us
Right,
are.
weekenders.
But-
No, I'm out there after work.
Right. Like I know people that just go fishing once, twice, 3 times a year that are infatuated with catching.
You ever catch
snakehead.
any snakeheads?
Yeah.
You ever catch any
It's
snakeheads?
insane.
Where you going? Where you
Like,
going?
it's
Yeah,
un-
it is
unbelievable.
like that. Everybody at first, you catch snakeheads?
I think it.
Yeah.
The area that you're in too that's something that's really missing from this area is
Yes.
a non-bow fishing snakehead guy.
Yeah.
Because there's
Um,
plenty of guys that bow fish, and you can get. There's a lot of there's I know of a few kayak guys like down in Blackwater that
Yeah.
take guys out on kayaks, but we're missing that. Go out on a boat. Never been fishing before.
Yeah.
Type guy.
I want to
for
catch a
snakeheads in
snakehead.
this area.
Yeah, you got
And
Ken
it's
Penrod. He does.
It's almost
he does
easy
it.
enough that anybody
Same.
can
Yeah,
do
he's a
it with
douchebag, so.
a couple good catches.
KP3's
You can
not-
figure them out.
Yeah.
He's a bigger douchebag.
I don't think he's
Who?
You can thank him for most of
Who?
the tournament regulations that we have right now.
Oh, the guy over
Ken
on the way
Penrod.
to the pond. Is that his name? What?
No, we're talking about Ken Penrod III.
I don't know.
He's a
But really,
He's a
what
bad guy.
regulations did they
His
put
name
in
sounds
other than
fucking-
culling tags?
well.
Retarded.
So
I mean, if you think about it, all the shit they imposed, they never
What was
followed
that?
through with.
he was trying to push.
He was trying to push all the off limits zones.
He was
but
trying to
then-
push all the off limits. He
Let
was
me
trying
get
to
one of
push
those.
catch weight release. He was trying to push a lot of stuff because
He
he
was
was
snakeheads.
because him and his father
Yeah.
are 100% against tournament bass fishing.
Well, his old
Really?
man used to go do tournaments and couldn't cut it, apparently.
What's the problem though?
Well, yeah, then he just got pissed off because tournament anglers
Thanks,
were on
brother.
his guide spots every time he wanted to go out.
Oh,
He
that's
wanted the
why.
water.
That's why. I get it now.
No, he wanted them off the water so that he
I'll take another Coors Light.
so that he could take his well-to-do clients like George Bush out, for guide trips and have the water levels.
So Andrew,
You
do
have
you
six?
Yeah, they might be
I don't
gone.
see any more quarters in
No
there.
more Coors Light? Bud Light's one.
only snakehead fish now, or do you still work a full time job as well?
So I work 3 days a week right now for alloy wheel repair.
Right.
It's all commission, so I basically just bust my ass, work longer hours, and
And then you had the rest of the time to do your guide thing.
yeah. Plus, I just ended up
So-
working on a house a couple years ago. Worked on stuff in the house.
So, you're called 40 East Fishing on Facebook and Instagram. Everybody go look him up and definitely like and follow his page and blow him up.
Go right there.
40 East Fishing, and you. So as Kevin stated earlier, there's a lot of people like, oh, I'm a guide, but there's how many people actually solely go out and get their captain's license to do this legitimately? How much time did it take to go out and legitimately get your captain's license? Like, was that?
Oh.
I mean, like, I know it's a big deal.
So I think I really started thinking about it right before COVID happened. I'd actually moved to my house and was in my house for like a week and was by myself, literally just for 2 months, just in this house. And I'm like, I'm obsessed with fishing. I'd seen actually Kayla Hale out there before. She's another guide.
What's up,
She's
Jay?
awesome. The Hale freaking monsters at fishing. Seeing that and then started just like Googling it, and then I was like, I need to do this and this. I was like, crap, like I don't even know. So I applied for the FGR fishing guide license, and they mentioned back here like, we need your captain's license first. And I was like, I have to do this first? Like what? And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it. Signed up for it. End of the summer. Waited till like December when my class was. That was about a week. Then it was like paying someone for a guide license. It was probably about a year. Sorry, a little drawn out explanation there, but
I'm sure COVID probably slowed that process down
a
too.
little bit.
I was just looking at your Facebook and like, so Nate Brown brought in a 11-pound snakehead last night.
Yes, that was
Giant freaking snakehead.
giant.
And I know Paul brought in a really big one last year, but I've just seen some on your Facebook. Like, what's the biggest one?
I've gotten
11 pounds look small to some of the ones I just
No,
saw.
my biggest was like just under 12. It was bouncing around from 11 and a half
12
to
pounds?
11.9.
Yeah.
I got 2 of those this year, a couple other 10s, and then like
Do you
bunch like just short of 10.
Do you think there's a
It's only
20?
ankle rock.
Do you think there's
Right,
a 20
exactly.
pounder
Cold,
swimming
cold.
around? 20 pounds.
That's the state record. It's 19.9.
Really?
Do you think it could be broken in the gunpowder?
This year they got bigger.
Yeah.
For sure. I got out a lot earlier this year too. Chatterbaits were getting whacked. I think there was a new standard of size this year for sure.
What was that one?
So,
What was that
There
one?
was a
Yeah,
lot.
bigger.
There was a lot of consistent
10-6.
over 10 pounds.
Yeah.
10 pounder.
Yeah.
that was on a Thursday night tournament.
Yeah. Paul called a 10 pounder
I
last year.
netted it.
Nate.
I've lost too. I've lost.
Net man.
Hey, take it easy sometimes.
I was actually pre-fishing for the solstice.
And being
last
a
year.
net man makes you nervous. Like, I don't want
Yeah,
to lose
yeah.
that.
No, you
Somebody's
don't
got a
want
big fish on, you don't want to lose it, and it's your fault all of a sudden.
I
Like, I called him, but this fucker lost it.
I just flip it.
So I've caught a couple
8, 9
snakes.
pound snakehead.
I've caught a couple snakes in the 9 to 10 pound range, and I just kind of like whatever. Like they're
That's
fun.
what I- yeah,
they're
so-
fun to catch. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not a real big like snakehead fisherman. I don't post a lot about it. Like, not that I disagree with what you guys do. 'cause
dude,
you guys
I'm
are
fast
awesome.
and hard for.
So
Don't get me wrong.
Started out. On
I was
fast,
in
Yeah, always.
I was in Saltpeter last year fishing, practicing for the solstice last year. Throwing a white swim bait, you know exactly what I'm throwing. So I'm throwing it out there, and I hook up, and I'm like, oh my god, I hope it's like that 6-7 pound bass I've been looking for.
What's
Well,
up,
this
Greg?
snakehead jumped out the water, and that was when I really understood why people go after those fucking things.
Yeah,
Because,
the-
dude,
we
this
gotta-
thing looked like a dolphin.
Yeah, that's what I
It was
said.
like-
A dolphin jumped out.
It
of the
was
water.
like,
Remember that
humongous.
one I hooked last year in the,
Holy shit.
back in the pond? It went like 3 feet in the air, and
Yeah.
if you watch it in slow mo, just chuck a jackhammer out of the side of its mouth.
We got a couple.
Oh, it's on.
We got a
It
couple.
was like,
like-
We got a
and
couple
boom.
comments we got to address real quick. So in Florida, when they first appeared years ago, we were told to kill them. They're an
So,
invasive
same
species,
here.
which is
Yeah.
same here.
No.
True.
They don't have northerns now there though.
Yeah.
They have that
giant
bullseyes.
snakes.
Yeah, bullseyes.
It's
Yeah.
a different.
It's a different breed.
There's
Different
like
species.
probably like 15 different breeds of snake.
There are northern snakeheads down there, though,
There
from what I
is.
understand.
Northern.
Yeah, there's like one small area in, like up near Gainesville.
Yeah.
I've seen 3 over 20 pounds this year. Jake says.
Where at?
Also, someone else. Where at Jake? Where they at?
Spill the
Also,
beans.
someone else.
No, I meant like Maryland.
Someone else, and I did
Prove it.
ask this question, but someone else
Prove it.
asked, like,
GPS
what's the
coordinates
biggest
confirm.
snakeheads that we caught? We already heard from Andrew. I don't think anybody's caught bigger than his.
I've
Mine's
I've been
about-
like
one
9
over 10.
pounds.
Mine's about the same size. I caught
Yeah.
11.5 pounder out of Swan Creek one time in springtime bass fishing.
I mean, so Jake goes out. Jake is a bow fisherman, but I think the bow fisherman get obviously they get a
He said
completely
Gray's Run, by the way.
they get a completely different perspective
Yo, that's
of the size of some of the fish in the area compared to us when we're out there during the day.
see 'em
Like, dude,
at
you
night.
can
At
see 'em.
night they come out.
So like, I totally believe. Like honestly, I believe it. I believe it. There's definitely big ones out there, and some people
Yes,
have
we know,
argued. Some people have argued on Facebook that
I think Greg's saying 20 pounds will be world record.
So, but now,
99 world record.
now if you
the
shoot
state,
it,
the
but if you
current
shoot
state
it,
record is also the current world record.
Yeah,
Right.
Maryland State record.
if you shoot
Maryland
it,
State.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Yeah.
The Maryland state record is the world record
World
for
record
snakehead.
for
Bigger
North,
than the
For
ones in
northern,
Japan?
for northern snakehead, yes.
no shit.
now if you shoot it, can
They're
you
forage base here. They grow.
cut it count?
No,
Yeah,
if
if
you,
you-
yeah,
does it-
bow
separate
fishing
from
has
bow?
its own
Does
separate.
the world? I guess
Separate.
so. It
Yeah,
would
there's
be a
two.
different category for bow fishing.
Yeah.
If you shot a 20-pounder, it would be a world record for bow fishing.
It would be a
Now, Chris-
so to be
Chris
a world
says
record.
Virginia.
It has to be caught on hook and line. To be a Maryland state record, it can be shot or caught on hook and line.
Chris says it was actually
Really?
Virginia
Because
caught
it's
in
a-
Potomac.
I thought it was separate.
Yeah, it was
In Maryland, it's not because it's an invasive
On the
species.
Virginia
so
side,
category.
apparently.
That's lame.
Well,
Yeah,
according to
Maryland
Chris.
owns
They
pretty
just
much
have
all
the
of it,
invasive
yeah.
species category. It doesn't matter how it's moved.
Right.
World record came from Potomac. Chris said it came from the Virginia side, not the Maryland side. We got a whole thing going on. Our bow fishing is not fishing.
They're reciprocal.
We got a bunch of things going on here.
I
So
didn't say it.
I was super surprised to learn that. I never knew this. The world record.
Fishing or not,
Maryland.
if you like doing it, do it.
We
I
have the
zero
biggest
problems with
snakeheads
bow
in the
fishing.
world here.
It's the
Yeah.
epicenter. So
I'm
like
scared to go swimming there.
there, so there are people, and I'm
No, the
sure
biggest
you can
northern
attest.
snakeheads.
What's
not
up,
the
Chris?
biggest-
It's different. It's different. Like Andrew said, 20 different kinds or so.
Yeah, I'm,
So, I'm
it's
sure
just
Andrew-
off
Dozens,
the top
at
of-
least
yeah.
dozens.
I'm sure Andrew
Look up
can
the-
attest, but like
Look up giant snakeheads.
Yeah.
They're huge.
out in like Thailand and shit.
Yeah,
But, like,
I don't want no parts of that, dude.
No.
So
So,
If a bass got that big, it would eat you.
oh yeah. So how many people
I think a giant
do you
snake
take
is
out
like
that are
60
from out of
points.
state?
I don't think I've got any out of staters. I mean, I got a website too, and I've had some people out of the country looking at the website, but I don't think I've gotten any.
See, it's really interesting that you say that because a lot of like friends of mine, because fishing in college, I got guys that I know in North Carolina, Virginia, stuff like that. You know, part of the Highland Reservoir type crowd. They're like, man, I really want to come up here bass fish, but I really want to catch snakehead too. So like, the attraction to catch a big snakehead is not just local. Martin with the good comments. God damn it, Martin. So Martin said Maryland is a sanctuary state for snakeheads. They're actually taking the snakeheads on buses and dropping them off into Potomac like they are with other
Pete-
stuff.
Pete gave us a little info
anyway.
on it. What's it say? 19.9 pounds.
You said it was shot. I thought it was caught.
So-
The snakehead
So
was
that is
shot.
the again.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
world
bad.
record. That is not the
He's got
Warmer
that
Creek.
is not the IGFA world record because IGFA does not recognize bow fishing.
Right.
All the facts. On
It has to
I
be
know a lot
caught.
about snakehead.
It has to be caught. Yeah, I know you were such a snakehead fisherman. No problem.
If it's fishing, Paul usually knows about it.
Man,
That is
man.
true.
Yeah, he is a good perch fisherman.
No, that is one thing that I am not
Panfish.
very good at. I am not very good at
So,
fishing.
Let's go crappie fishing. this
I
fall.
mean, so to
Well,
get
I
back
can
to it, so
Crappie fishing is a different game.
You-
That's like
it's
bass
fun.
fishing.
you have what is the good word I'm looking for? You have capitalized on a market of people that are looking to land snakeheads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
and
Do you get a lot of clients?
Nothing too crazy. It's like
Yeah.
when I post something on the snakehead pages or something, then I'll get a lot of hits or something like that.
That's awesome, man.
That's
Like last weekend was pretty good. I had a couple clients, and all but one of them got fish. And actually, I found out that we lost a fish because an eyelid was cracked, and so we set the hook, and it just ripped the line.
Rip the line.
Oh,
And the
wow.
next day, it happened to me, and that's when I was like, "There's something wrong," because it was a brand new rod, like
Right.
second time using it, brand new Shimano combo.
That
Yeah,
hurts.
so it would have been a full 100% weekend that everybody owned fish, but
It's pretty
So
interesting.
what is your take on bow fishing?
bow fishermen,
I always like hearing this the opposite side of the
Well, yeah,
snakehead
'cause, like,
spectrum.
you're like doing your thing, like your business is kind of through catching snakehead, riding
yeah,
bow
it
fisherman kind of.
sucks to see them getting taken out. Any life, I don't want to just like get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they're definitely putting a hurting on there, but I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. My personal opinion is you probably don't have the patience to go hook and line.
Bingo.
So
You think
I don't want to be a hater, but that's just.
I will.
And I got to do. I've never done it, so I'm sure it's a great time.
It's a different
The
experience.
guy I fish with all
I'll
the time,
agree with
Evan,
that.
he loves doing it. I don't know.
I'll agree with that. I know some people just like doing it. I think it's needed to
I
control
agree.
population.
Oh, yeah.
I think it
Because
keeps the
there's
The
population
fry
in check.
balls you see out there, yeah.
I think it's needed, and other people will disagree. Greg will disagree because he can't catch snakeheads anymore, but I don't think that's because of population.
So we shot at
Damn.
Greg. Hey, Paul.
Here we
Right
go.
for the jugular.
But I think it's needed. It's not for me. I've both. So before snakeheads, I've bow fished in the late '90s when I was a teenager for carp, and was it kind of fun? Yeah, but it just wasn't for me.
What'd you guys do with the meat?
So we ended up giving them to.
Did you leave it at the
Fertilize
fertilizer?
it or something?
There were a few people that would, whenever we went out, they would just take them.
Really?
Like they would meet us at the ramp. Like we'd call them, tell them we were going out, and they'd meet us at the ramp when we came in, and they'd take them.
That's cool.
And as far as I know, they ate them.
That's what I like to do. I like to call somebody that wants them,
Yeah.
and then I'll keep them. But if not, I
I'm the same
pretty,
way.
much, I pretty much just catch and release them at this point because I don't feel like, dude, you
Alright,
catch so many of them.
Hey, good
Hey,
meeting
you got a
you.
short? Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Good seeing you, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul,
Have fun up in New York. Send us some pictures,
I'm
brother.
going to send you a ton of pictures.
good luck up there, man.
Plenty of pictures.
Stay safe.
Make sure they're not pictures of your feet, though. Only
No.
big smallmouth.
Keep them for OnlyFans.
See you guys.
Only fish.
Only fish.
So, I don't know if they asked you this when I was out in the bathroom, but do you think that the snakehead population is particularly in
Shut
areas
that
like
door a little bit. I can handle it.
particularly in areas like Dundee that excuse me, that have had fish kills or just downward cycles for a while? You think the snakeheads are helping the bass fishing?
I have seen bass going crazy on some fry balls, so I think they've got to be. They're not hurting too
I
much.
think so too.
It's,
Yeah.
You
I'd
ask some of
agree
the
at
guys
this
that have been
point.
fishing Potomac for like 20 years.
and I mean, I've
They'll
been
tell you ever
fishing.
since he came along.
I've been fishing Dundee for the past 4 years now, and this is the best year for bass I've had.
It's I will definitely say, and I don't fish Dundee
been
and
coming back in
saltpeter a
Dundee.
lot.
Yeah.
Like I don't fish Dundee or saltpeter as much as I probably should, but I can definitely say that this year has been a much better year. I think in 2-3 years it will be an exceptional fishery. I think it'll be as good as Jockeytown in 2 or 3 years, and then I think 4 or 5 years it will be better.
I know.
like
What's your
hands
average
down.
size you're pulling out bass wise? Pulling out
Dundee or
Jockeytown.
Jockeytown. So in the last couple Thursday nighters, except for last night, it's been about a 3-pound average. Now we're also on
That's
a very competitive
I mean,
spot.
dude, that's
Like
pretty fair.
Dundee's been about that.
yeah, no,
We've
it's
getting
it's
plenty of 3-pounders this year.
Like I said, I caught a 6 out of Dundee early spring.
They're there for sure. I mean, apparently back in the day that was the spot.
my problem with and
Catch
this,
and release,
this is
100.
just me, but like my thing with Dundee is I grew up fishing there. So like in my mind, I know all the spots, but I don't know all the spots because when I used to fish them as a kid, like I'm talking like less than like 14 years old, I didn't know how to fucking fish. And every time I've gone out there, like this year, I've had 2 separate occasions where I've gone out there and had really good days in Dundee. Now, my problem with Dundee is consistency. I can't consistently catch fish over there to the point where I feel comfortable going over there and fishing against you bunch of assholes that are going to make me catch 9-10 pounds and win a tournament. You know what I mean? So like,
Sorry, we had to break the double digits.
I know, thanks. But that being said, like, I definitely think that it's good for the fishery for a number of reasons. Number one, because the better the Dundee gets for bass and snakehead or whatever, the less pressure Jock is going to get.
Exactly.
100%.
I think it's the same with, I mean, you keep going down south to the Middle River or go up north to Bush River, it's going to be the same thing.
Right, and like I honestly like, and I know I hope Greg's still on, but
Oh yeah, he's coming.
Dude, I mean, with the amount of blue cats you see that these bow hunters pull out,
it's
they've got to be hurting on the bass too. It's
I've
think blue
seen
cats
I've
are
seen
worse.
blue cats with the tail of a 3-pound largemouth hanging out of its mouth, and they're still chasing bait.
I think I will.
Those
take
blue cats.
You can't change my mind that blue cats are worse than snake.
well, the crab
Hands
aren't
down.
about it either.
Right.
The
Like
blue
hands
cats
down.
are eating crabs.
So are like
Hey,
is
Carson,
the, is,
have
the,
fun,
is,
buddy.
the, is the blue cat spawn like just as bad as like snake cat spawn? Like,
so
how does
I
that
don't
work?
know.
honestly. I feel like the carp are pretty bad too because the carp. I don't know if you guys experience it, but they'll just be freaking out, and then if
Oh,
the carp are
they'll
freaking
rip
out, there's
grass up.
nothing.
They'll
yeah.
tear grass out.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll make the whole freaking creek muddy.
So before we go any further, Andrew, now that I want to make sure we get this out there. So how do people get in touch with you? What's the best way? How do they schedule a trip? Like you got your information out there. They message the page. They call your phone.
Best way is you can personal message me. You can call me, text me anytime if you got questions. You can go on my website, 40eastfishing.com. The only thing on my website is some people will go right into booking the trip and then setting a date. I'm not too official yet there wise. Like you can do that way, but I might be like, hey, we got to change the date here because I don't have all of my appointments saved onto there. So it says the date's open, but it's not. You know what I mean? But yeah, call or text. Phone's always the best way.
So what type of is there like a level of experience that you prefer?
I like to say anybody because mostly I'm throwing frogs all day. It definitely helps when you have an accurate cast, especially if you're fishing a fry ball. You got two people that aren't dead on, and then they're both crossing each other, and they're not hitting that fry ball.
Mm-hmm.
You're already there for 5-10 minutes trying to throw around it. Plus, I'm working the trolling motor. Everything else is going on. Fish is probably spooked by then.
So do you fish while you're out there, or do you just work the
no, I
trolling?
try not to. I basically work the motor. We'll tell you where to cast. I'm mostly throwing frogs all day, but I'm like, hey, try this chatterbait or this inline spinner real quick. But no, I'll try not to fish. I want to give everybody the biggest opportunity they can to catch.
You provide the gear and the baits.
Yep, I
for the
provide
people who are out on the
everything.
boat. You provide everything.
You can literally walk up with your nothing. I try to at least bring some waters and Gatorades, even some snacks for you.
So bait casters, or is it all spinning? Because obviously
I'm learning myself with the spinners. It's definitely possible. Just had a client pull out a 10.5 pounder with spinning. Got it off a fry ball. I like bait casters though. I think they got that little extra backbone to set the hook into them.
There's a lot of people that just can't use a bait caster though.
Yeah, but I encourage it. Like that's the time to learn. It's not your equipment. Fuck it. If you want to get a bird's nest, I'm gonna hand you another rod. Keep fishing. I'll pick the bird's nest out. Well,
so let me ask you this, and this is just a guide general question. But so like if you take somebody out, and there's never a guarantee for fishing.
Never.
So I guess, do you ever have people that you take them out and it's a slow day and they're just like they want like a free trip? Like how do you approach that?
I feel awful if it's a shitty day, to be honest with you, and it's gonna happen.
It's like, how do you feel asking somebody for money when you didn't put them on fish?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you'll see, it's like they're blowing up. Like you get short strikes, you're fishing fry balls, and they don't want to bite. That shit happens for definitely. I've had a couple people. I was like, hey, if you want to get out again, I'll like give you 50% off or something. And I had a guy do that already. Steve, thank you for coming back out. He got a 7.5 pounder that day. We had action all day.
Nice.
Only landed one fish. Maybe got some bass in between. It's a grind all the time. You're just constantly throwing frogs, working through the grass because they're shallow and they're up in there. That or mats, pretty much. But yeah, I try to offer people like a little discount or something. Get back out.
Do you find that snakehead will identify with different types of grass on certain days?
I've really been trying to pinpoint that. I think I was talking to Nick Rogers recently about it, and he was saying like they're on the mats. I'm like, dude, I love the reeds. I think they're. I don't know if you guys ever noticed roll low tide. You'll have that shelf under the reeds.
Always caught more snakeheads against reeds.
Yeah,
always.
Right up in there. There'll be that nice patch where there's no grass in between the reeds and then the grass line.
It's like a couple feet wide.
Yeah, and there's like a
hang out
ditch
there.
or channel there, and that's what they're hiding.
Spinnerbait, chatterbait.
Actually, this is a Bass Pro guy right here. Texas rig hook, so it's weedless.
So,
nice.
So I have a question for you
wow.
about snakehead fishing.
Can
So
I see that?
how often do you catch snakehead? Like you say, you have a client out
It's
that's
a
fishing a
freaking
frog,
straight
and
up
they're getting
wobblehead,
blown up
too,
on.
like-
Do you have them throw a worm in there as like a follow up and get them to catch? Do snakeheads do that?
It's a very good question.
Not too much. They're like one and done.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, like
honestly,
with bass, like you get a blow up on a frog.
you get
That's
another chance.
You get another
That's
worm
wild.
in there within a couple seconds. More than likely, he's still going to be there.
I'll say get back out there. Like, don't be like, oh, what the heck, I lost it. Like, no, try to get another cast out there. Every once in a while, they'll blow back up on it.
Because I have a friend of mine who's pretty big. His YouTube's 3F Fishing. His name's Joe. We were having this conversation recently, actually today, about follow-ups. with
So-
soft plastics, and he's usually fishing frogs. And why don't you try a follow up? Because there's been times where I've caught snakes on a follow up. You know, they blew up on it. And I
Yeah.
tried to wacky rig snake go back in there real quick, and they took it.
So how
It's a
How
real
long
important
do
question. What is it?
It's Bass Pro.
Bass Pro?
Yeah. Main thing I recommend with those is upgrade your hardware, your split rings, and your quick connects.
It's pretty badass.
So it's like a
how-
wobblehead chatter.
It's like the chatterbait legend. It's very similar by design.
But I think
I like that.
the original chatterbait makes a weedless one also.
That's
Or
I think
Z-Man.
it's the legend.
Yeah.
Yep, it's called.
And
I
then
just can't
actually-
get down with Bass Pro stuff, man.
I haven't tried them yet, but the high octane
We'll talk about that
has the
we'll talk about
finesse
that later.
finesse chatter. I gotta get some of them. I think they get come in a lighter weight also. That one's a heavier one. That's the only one I put.
So-
That's like a half ounce. I'm usually throwing like 3/8.
How-
Yeah, 3/8 is my go-to.
How long
3/8
do
is
you
juice.
wait when they blow up a frog to set the
Frog?
hook on a snake?
Count to 3 if you don't see that frog, set the hook.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I tell people. But once you start fishing for them for a while, you know when they got it. And
Right.
it's,
You can
it's
feel
just
it.
like a bass.
You can feel it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I've actually in the last 3 or 4 trips I've gone fishing, I know for a fact I've had snakeheads blow up a frog or whatever, and I haven't caught one of them yet. It just I don't know if I'm setting the hook because I can tell the difference. I don't know about you guys. If I have a blow up on a frog, I know right away what it was. Like there's a sound. If
I
it's
usually know.
You
It's
said
kind
log.
of a
When you say
hollow-
log, you're talking a snake, right?
It's like
What's
a
that?
hollow.
You're saying a
design.
log, you mean a snake?
well, no. When
Just
I
a
say
big
like a
fish.
blow up,
Okay,
Like-
I thought you said a log.
no. So if I know when I get a blow up, I know what it is instantly.
Yeah.
And I feel like with snakeheads, I've only caught 1 or 2 this year on frogs so far, and it just seems like for me they've just been missing it. I don't know if it's because I'm used to bass fishing where I wait.
Citizen.
I trim it down. Like
Really
they will short strike you over and over and over again, make you lose your mind for sure.
interesting
It happens a lot.
because I definitely have noticed that. Like, because when I wait enough time to where I get a bite on a blow up on a frog to where I have enough like time to realize, okay, that's a bass, that's a snakehead. And whenever I conceptualize that's a snakehead, and by the time I set the hook, I'm just pulling the frog through the water at that point.
Sometimes they will just hold on to it.
Nice.
It's custom.
Yeah. You know what? Hey,
It's
bad,
gonna get
flipped on its
hey,
head.
that's the fish from Bad Grandpa. It's a large nose carpet criminal. Yeah, it's a large nose carpet criminal. Pink snapper. Pink snapper.
That's a working class zero custom.
But
Oh,
so you think that trim the frogs for snakeheads?
Yeah,
absolutely-
I mean, even I could probably trim this more for sure.
I do that for bass.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Dude,
I
bass,
trim.
bend the
Dude,
hooks
no
up.
bullshit. This long.
I would
That's it.
trim.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the most of like the legs isn't all the action.
Always trim.
It's
Always
either
trim one
walking
at
in-
least a little
Right.
shorter than the other two. It works better.
Yeah,
But
the
you
weight
have
of
the
it.
legs trimmed all the way off.
Yeah,
There's
dude,
like
these
no legs
things,
on that.
these are Strike King Pop and Perch. I really like
Right.
them. They come with like some really long tails.
Yeah, I think
I-
Those things come like 3 inches long.
Yeah,
don't they?
yeah, the tails, yeah. And
You
these
don't
are
think
also
the
they're real
tail-
squishy, but don't take on water a lot. And
so. You know when you just cast out and let it sit, and sometimes they
Oh,
go
they-
up. You think that because the tail's sitting there like moving in the water a little bit. the
that's
water's
po-
moving the
I
tail
like a
little bit.
good like smack when it hits the water.
Yeah.
Honestly, and then you just let it sit there right up on the reeds. And,
And sometimes
barely-
they get smashed like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
just one little twitch or
Yeah.
right when it hits
The
the
only
water.
way I can tell with a snakehead usually is if I can see them wake to it.
Yeah, a lot of times
So,
they'll swirl on
They
it
haven't been
before
doing
they
that
hit.
as much this year.
So,
Though.
They
like-
have a
like,
different.
Really?
The pitch of them taking a frog is different than a bass. a
Oh,
lot
the
of
pit,
times.
the snakes are like
Yeah.
suction more.
That is actually like the exact sound that it is.
No, trust me.
It is
I'm
the
out there all the time.
exact
Like, come on, let me get out.
sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's the exact
and it
sound.
just go, and
Like,
your frog is
No,
gone.
you know, and that's another thing is like, I don't know if you guys are out there too, but you'll see just random bait balls or the carp are blowing up.
Oh yeah.
And you know what kind of sound it is. You know when it's a carp. You know when it's
Right.
a catfish
Yeah.
or a
Or a
perch or a
rockfish.
bass. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's another thing. People are constantly like, "Oh, what was that?" I'm like, "Dude, you gotta not worry about it sometimes and just like
Right.
keep focusing. You can't chase bait down.
I hate
You'll never
that.
you'll never catch it.
I hate when
Yeah.
you're out in the pond
That's not true.
and like your cast.
Not always.
You're fishing like the bank and like shit's blowing up
hard.
behind
It's
you.
hard, but it's
But you know they're not.
You waste a lot of time.
you
I
do.
did that with him,
Yeah. It's like
and I
man,
caught him. It was awesome.
Really?
What are we
Not
doing?
largemouth. When I caught stripers,
They
Oh,
start
yeah,
blowing
yeah,
up.
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I was
blowing up.
casting my whole spool out and just like took.
He's bombing like 35, 40 yards, just way out.
I'm
like,
gonna go on a limb here, but on the walking bait,
Oh, of course.
those stripers. Once one hits it too, they go crazy.
You go
Oh,
to
it
some of
was
these.
unreal. It won't
You go to
stop.
some of
Yeah.
these deeper lakes, crystal clear water, and you find them. You see some fish start busting the bait. You can get there over there. They'll be there.
Yeah.
They're
You don't
chasing
have to
bait
go
and
to
they're on the
Crystal Clear
surface.
Lake. You can go to Conowingo and do it.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Well, I feel like
They're
it's
there.
a bass a lot though.
The stripers run
Yeah.
in the gunpowder. Like they run in the gunpowder. Wait till the fall.
All
That's
that bait
I'm
was
gonna say.
busting on Sunday when we were
I
out there.
won't talk no more about it.
So I mean, I don't know if
That's all I
you
got to say.
personally
Yeah.
do this or not, but one of my favorite baits to actually like, I don't ever go out and actually target snakehead. Like I've never gone out and been like, today I want to catch a snakehead.
I'm going snakehead.
I'm always
fishing.
catching bass, but snakehead are there, and I catch snakehead.
You're throwing this one, aren't you?
Yes.
I know you said something before about
Dude.
these. Without that.
If you're not throwing big baits with big wieners,
What are you throwing?
I don't know
You
what
know,
you're throwing.
You catch a lot of, the females are bigger fish. You catch
I
a lot
knew
of
it was
female
coming.
bass with
I
that.
knew that was coming.
You know, all he's catching is trouser trout with that one.
Yeah. Dude, the
Oh, you
snakehead.
neutered them, dude.
I destroy snakehead in the
Well,
early season on these patios. Dude, the mag draft, the citizen.
I remember you saying that before,
Yes, they
and
do,
then
Martin.
you look at all these pictures on the Facebook pages and the stuff that comes out of their bellies once they're cut.
I
It's
never
massive.
It's
Really?
massive.
Dude, I've
Like
seen
what?
like pictures of turtles like this big.
Really?
And they have small mouths. Like,
Don't they process their food very fast though? From what I've read,
Never heard that.
I was
But
reading
it's-
somewhere like a lot of times when you cut snakeheads open, a lot of times they'll be empty because they can process it so fast.
Yeah, I've
Which would make
Wait
sense
a-
why they eat a lot.
So
And
they're
they
pulling,
get so
they're
big
pulling
so
a lot of
fast.
different
Yeah.
things out. Are they pulling bass? I'm sure they pull bass out.
I've
of
seen
stomachs all the
snakes.
time.
I've had snakes and snakes. So.
What about
Yeah.
license plates?
No.
No license plates?
I've
I mean,
heard
Couple
ducks,
Coors Light cans.
My 11 pounder is on a mega bass mag draft, and then I have several 10s on citizens.
Well, it matches
and
the
mag
hatch.
drafts.
I always catch them on the
It's just,
spinner
dude.
Yeah, me too.
bait. All
I
the
mean,
time.
it works, but let's
Always
be. I
spinner
mean,
bait.
not to be like that guy or anything, but like going out and catching them on a spinner bait, and then going out and throwing a hook in one's mouth and one of these bad boys is a
Oh,
different experience.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
What's funny, you just said ducks. When we were out Sunday,
Uh-huh.
there was ducks coming past us, and all of a sudden something underneath of them blew up
Oh
on a
yeah,
duck.
no,
For real?
You just see
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Did it
freaking
take
out.
the duck
It
too?
didn't take it,
No.
but that duck was
It blew up
running
with
for its life.
Yeah,
Damn.
Oh yeah.
they'll
No
just see
doubt.
something move and they'll just investigate.
I think they're curious.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with bass.
Greg
Bass are
says.
same.
I mean, I've seen videos of bass smacking that little.
Oh yeah, bass eat pretty much if they're
Bass are territorial. Bass are aggressive.
Greg says
Sign-
Bush Creek and Gray's Run is fucked because of too much pressure from the news. They keep catching everything, keeping everything they catch.
He said snakehead fishing has brought too many people to the water.
Greg
It's
says-
definitely
Yeah, I
brought.
think it has.
Dude, I can agree that
I've
it's
been
brought-
even been out of Jopletown and like just talking to some random people and they're like, yeah, we came from way up in Pennsylvania just to come here and catch snakeheads. I'm like,
Wow.
Jesus, so you just drove 4 hours. To...
Meanwhile, I catch one and I'm like, oh fuck, now I gotta figure out how to unhook this.
I
bitch.
know.
It's not manhandle. I just kill them and
Gotta beat them with my
Dude, do you ever
pliers.
cut your hands up on their teeth,
Oh,
reaching
dude,
up into the
I mean
gills?
that's from gilling them.
Yeah.
Their gills are
Constantly.
sharp, dude.
Their gills are
Yeah.
sharp
When you
as
try to
shit.
grab inside their gills, like you try and pull your hand back out, it's like a Chinese.
You gotta
finger
like
trap.
push the
Really?
gill
I
away.
ain't gonna grab one by the gills. I'm telling you, I'm boat flipping in there and then I get in a fight with it.
Well, dude, you're holding that shit with a bare hand and a freaking 10-pound freaking snakehead.
You know what?
thrashing your hand
I
up
can just
in
picture
shit.
this. I can picture
We
Rob
get
doing
your
the
heart going.
people's elbow. You hear the bell, and in this corner, weighing in at 11 and a half pounds, the Northern Snakehead.
I got my ass whooped a couple times. There's a couple matches I lost. Broke my spinner bait.
Stone
in half
Cold
and
Steve
all kinds of
Austin
shit.
Steve hits, and here comes Rob.
jumping and flapping around. But I'm like, I peek open the live
Oh,
well.
that reminds me of a story. I forgot about that. I went to Bass Fest at Susquehanna Fishing Tackle, and I won. I have a Garcia Jordan lay rod, And then I go out and I fish. I'm like all happy, like I just won this rod, right? So I'm like out trying it, and I catch a fucking snakehead on it, and I boat flip them, and I set the rod down, and it's like over my console, and I got him on the deck, and I'm like fucking having it out with him, and he like flips up down past into the cockpit and snaps my brand new fucking rod I just won. I was all proud of it. Like, I won this, right? Like, it's a major award, like Christmas
no.
tree.
It's a major award. It was fragile, wasn't it?
That was French.
And fucking snakehead broke it the first day I fished it, dude.
We all got stories about losing rods.
I mean, so would you, I mean, a lot of
If I
times.
see him again, I'm gonna fuck him up.
So this brings up another thing in our conversation between bass and snakehead though. So like, bro, like a lot of my gear is freaking built towards bass.
Right.
I'm thinking my biggest thing, I might catch a 5-pounder or a 6-pounder. I'm not really thinking like on my like medium or my medium heavy rod, I'm gonna freaking go hook into a 12-pound snakehead. It's like on the like a 150 series reel, like medium heavy rod, like I feel like dude, that's a
12-pound fluorocarbon.
Sounds like a party.
yeah, seriously, you're on freaking 10-pound.
I actually
fluorocarbon.
use mostly like a. I have personally like a 7.4 medium heavy, but I have rods for clients that are a 7.1 because sometimes it's just easier with a smaller rod for the cast, and it handles it fine.
You said you throw most of your frogs on medium heavies, not heavies.
No,
And
no,
braid?
I don't got anything. Yeah, 50-pound braid.
I was gonna ask what
Okay.
Yeah.
type of line.
Spinning, I'll do 30-pound.
Do you run any like leaders on any of your
No,
stuff
no
because of
leader.
their teeth?
No.
Their teeth, you don't find their teeth cutting the braid.
No, and that's why I was just talking about the one breaking off. I was like, this never happens. Like, I've never had a snake break me off because of its teeth.
I'm gonna ask a very controversial question.
I have.
What's
I know for a fact
easier
that I
to
have.
catch, snakeheads or bass? Lately, I'm gonna catch snakeheads easier.
That is
Snakeheads
such a
like every
that
time
is
I
such
go.
a confidence.
That's what I said.
So-
That's why I
so-
tell them I ask a very
Here's how I'll
controversial
answer this. If I see a snakehead, if I know it's there, I have much more confidence I can catch that fish.
No.
So you're the opposite?
Dude, I just had two today just staring me down, and they would look at it and just not want to bite it. Fry balls for days.
My bad.
Didn't want to bite it.
Really?
I mean, I've always said with any fishing, like, if I think maybe it messes with my head when I see a fish and I get too antsy or something, but sometimes just not seeing them is better.
So speaking of seeing them, when they're spawning, so we see it up the back channel all the time, and up in like Furnace Bay, up on the flats, like you'll see them like on top of the water, like snaking their shit around or whatever.
What's up,
Like,
Kev?
do they not bite when they do that?
Dude, one, they spawn twice, at least twice a
Snaking
year.
their shit
Yes,
around.
when they're doing their thing, I
Snaking
feel like
around.
the bite gets harder.
So
Just like
okay.
any fish, they're gonna have their time where it's just like on and they are aggressive and they're ready to eat, and that's all they're thinking about. And then when they're doing their thing and doing their dance, no, they probably don't want to eat. That's what I had two today. They were just right up on each other. You'd see them go into the reeds. The reeds would freak out, and then they just like come back out and just like twitch a frog right in front of them or the swim bait. They just look at it and just keep on going.
I've experienced that back in the pond a couple times. Back in, I'm just gonna call it the snakehead territory. I'm not gonna say where it is back in the pond, but in the snakehead territory in the pond, dude. I've seen it's in the water.
Okay.
Barely, it's barely in the water.
Next to the bank.
Yeah. So, and I've seen them just
Kind
like
of a
roaming
wet
that
area
bank,
from
dude.
time
Big
to
ones.
time.
Dude, I've thrown
Oh, great.
frogs. Dude, I've ran a crankbait over top of one's back before and hit it,
Oh
and
yeah.
it just like it is.
So I might long the shit out of some spawning snakeheads. I won't even pretend to say I don't. If I see snakeheads spawning and they won't eat a frog, the first thing I pick up is that big old flipping bait.
I call
Okay,
it
I
flipping.
feel it, and
Yeah, I
then
call
we got
it
a
flipping.
10-pound snakehead.
I
Now,
call
is it
it
snagged?
flipping.
Yes, but I don't care. I like the way they taste.
I mean, it's like
The majority of the ones you catch are probably topwater, if I had to guess.
Oh yeah. Yes. All frogs for the most part. Before the grass comes in, I'll throw chatterbaits. I mean, I got a 11.5 on one of these.
So I'm gonna go with a little bit of juice, but I have noticed that in the fall when the grass starts dying, and then it gets down smaller and smaller patches of grass, it seems like those grass patches get loaded with snakeheads.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I
packed
mean-
with them.
I mean, any
It's just like in the
fish get
spring, you find scattered grass.
Yeah, as soon as that grass comes in, they're gonna go right to that grass.
I wanna-
They love the grass.
Yeah.
They
I
love
want
the
to
grass.
challenge you to go back to our roots where we started.
Just throwing
And
bait baits.
I want to see you. I want to.
How's that
Catch
do
some
through
snake-
grass? How's that?
Great.
Okay.
It's great.
It looks like.
I mean, obviously, I'm targeting more like grass lines with it, not throwing it right into the grass.
yeah.
But
I
like
mean,
Tony saw it, I caught a 4.5 pound. This was a bass, like a 4.5 pound bass, out on the flats in all the grass, just ripping it through the freaking grass.
I did that with what's the line through?
Yeah, okay.
I forget who makes that.
This like
The mag graph is the line.
you've done well, like 11 a pounder, but like
No, the mag graph has a hook.
try catching them on some of these. It's a great time. I freaking love. If you haven't tried already,
The best part about that
I love targeting them and glide baits, dude. They will freaking do. They'll follow.
when
Yeah.
Chad hooked
Yeah,
up with
absolutely
that big
fine.
fish and up in the flats with that thing, he's like, I'm hooked up. And I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, yes, I am. I'm like, what the fuck?
You know,
Damn.
rusty hooks.
With
You
the
know,
pounder.
rusty hooks is like there's 3 baits: a
Well, dude, it
popper,
was the
a
same
frog,
thing.
and
Me and him are up on Conowingo, and he starts out throwing a spinner bait or whatever he starts throwing out. And I pick up freaking, like, it was like a 6 or a 7 inch glide bait, and I just started winging it over to the side where we were fishing up on Conowingo. And then it was like 3 or 4, 5 casts in. I was like, I'm hooked up. And he's like, what? No way. Yeah.
A glide bait would draw some fish.
Dude, I've caught, and then I think it proceeded
get
to
more
that day. I think I
followers than you
caught,
get
I've caught
fish,
5 or
probably.
6 smallmouth on a glide
Oh,
bait.
you're talking about the smash 'em day.
The day. The
S
Smash
waiver.
Fest.
S waiver.
Oh, that's
No,
There's a-
it was
I think
exactly-
there's a
I
lot
like
of
the
pros.
168, not the 200. I like
Right.
the smaller
The
one.
168. Yeah, that's waiver.
I think there's a lot of
168,
pros
yeah.
that use those glide baits just to find the fish when they're free fishing.
Well, you
just,
get
to
a lot
know,
of-
just to have
you
them
get a lot
show
of
themselves.
followers.
They're
and know they're
interested
there.
in
follow
those
them
big-
a lot.
Real
Yeah.
quick, Kevin Miller, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining in. Warren's got some things. What's Warren saying here? There's a few ponds close to me where we destroy, where they will destroy square bills, crankbaits. You ever catch them on crankbaits? Yeah.
No, I have not. I've gotten them on spooks before.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But anything with treble hooks, I mean, I'm sure you know Dundee, the grass is
Oh, yeah.
everywhere.
Well, the problem
This year is different. There's like
not as much. Not nearly as much.
No.
Last year was choked. But the thing, so Paul would say the same thing because he fishes over there. But I noticed last year the grass was topped out early.
Yes.
Real
Yeah.
early. I'm talking like laying over in 3 foot of water end of March.
Yeah, like,
March.
you don't even need your lowest to low tide, and it's freaking late.
Like it was unreal.
It's average tide.
In
Mid-
Dundee.
Yes, and saltpeter as well. By mid-May, the milfoil was dying off and it was being replaced by eelgrass.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of eelgrass this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we
more
got on
eelgrass.
GP too. It's mostly eelgrass. There's some milfoil here and there.
The milfoil outside the bridge, it sucks now. It's like really sad.
Right.
Oh, you
So
fished that this year. I haven't fished that.
See,
I
because
didn't fish
everybody
that
was
all
talking about that spot last year. I
You
remember
mean as soon
everybody
as
was
you,
talking-
without getting on too much juice, but as soon as you go through the train bridge to the left,
That whole bank.
or all the way out,
Whole bank.
all the way
That
out
was
by APG
whole bank.
and all that.
No good.
Whole bank.
I haven't
It
fished
was
it one
earlier.
time this
It
year.
had a lot of grass in it earlier, and then it was gone.
There's a lot of different
Weedless
grass in there,
flukes.
too.
And MEP spinners. I did hear MEP spinners are good for
I was getting bit early in the season, but honestly, when the grass starts coming in, I just stick to the frog for the most part.
Right.
It's all you can get through.
Right, that's all you can fish.
This is high octane. It's an inline spinner, but with the weedless hook.
So
and
it's
this-
like a MEP spinner with a
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a weedless swim bait on
Yeah.
the back of it.
Yeah.
Do you use high octane stuff a lot?
I've actually the first time I met a couple guys at one of the flea markets, I bought a couple stuff, and that's all
Susie's
I've
a good
gotten
friend
from
of mine.
Huh?
Susie, guy who started it.
Steve.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know
Steve Cam.
I met him at
He's a
the.
good friend of mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just met him the one time at the flea market, and I mean, compared to some other stuff I've
Tried
seen.
it. Isn't that gum?
But no, I haven't bought much stuff from him.
Yeah,
But
it is.
He's big
It's
into
all
it,
good.
man.
Yeah,
He-
oh, yeah.
He's all about it.
They make quality stuff too.
He's given me some stuff to try. He knows. We've known each other for
I mean, I've
15
had
years.
plenty of bass going after all this stuff too. So.
Yeah.
Hey Martin, do you catch bass like that too? Just curious. Sassing.
Martin doesn't
girlfriend?
even fish Joppa Town.
He said square bills on the docks in the winter.
The only time you'll see Martin in
Oh, in
Joppa
the
Town
winter,
is
yeah,
in
there's no grass.
the only time
Solstice.
you'll see Martin in Joppa Town is on Clint's boat or when he wants to take his boat out just to run it real quick.
I was in the quarry and I had to break through ice to get back in there maybe a year or two ago and broke through the ice and I was blade baiting without giving up too
If
much.
I gotta
juice.
do all that, I'm not
Call-
going fishing.
call
I
it
hate to break it
snakehead.
to you.
Calling snakehead.
If I gotta break their
So
ice,
I used
I'm
to
not
do
The
that.
clay bait.
So you can
Tell me
ask
about anything.
Skylar, who hasn't been on in a little while, but me and Skylar, when we were really starting to get into it, like heavy, It was because I was in school at the time, so I didn't, and I was very rarely home.
Did
So
you
when
guys,
I was home in the
did you guys
wintertime,
adjust these
it
comments?
didn't matter
Yeah.
what the temperature was. Like
Except for the trident.
me and
I don't know if you're talking
Skylar
about
had
them,
fished
but-
in single
Trident's
digit
one of the
temperatures all
baits, I
day,
believe.
and it's just like
Mhm.
why?
If it's
Like,
if it's
why?
below 30 degrees, I'm not fishing around here.
If it's below 40, I'm not going out. Now if it's like
Uh,
35 and
That's a
sunny,
lie.
Joe,
yeah, a little bit.
Joe
But if it's
says
like- if
American
it's-
snakehead.
If it's
customs.
cold but it's the sun's out and it's not windy, I'll fish. But I'm not fishing all day. But if I go out in like December and it's like 40 and it's windy and the sun's not out, fuck that. I'm not doing that shit.
We go to Lake Anna's Hot Side in January.
I think
And,
Warren.
don't you have to
It's
have a
like-
cabin or something on that side?
You got to know somebody. You got to rent something.
Yeah.
Something.
When
Warren,
do you see?
Warren wants to know what the inline spinner was called, real quick. That I believe is
Warren?
what he's asking.
He should know. He's buddies with all.
He said that's what the inline spinner is called.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
the trident is what the inline spinner is
got you.
called.
All right, got you.
I knew it
Warren.
was one of the baits. I don't
And
know.
then Joe says American Snakehead Customs. Anybody
I
familiar?
think I've seen them in. They're at what's the freak? Autumn Sky Outfitters. I think they have American Snakehead Customs in there as well.
So they just make custom snakehead baits, I'm guessing?
yeah,
Yeah, there's a
Kinda
lot
like-
of guys out there. Warren's one of them, obviously. And there's like Megalords, stuff like that.
Warren makes the best frog on the market.
Well, we know that.
Mhm.
We already know that.
You guys like them for the bass,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
even with the little blades on them.
So
Yeah,
I haven't
blade.
I haven't personally thrown them yet. I don't know if any of you guys have.
I like it for the
I
I,
have.
like it for the grass in those pockets,
Okay,
like a little bit
like you get a
so
nice
like
hole in the grass.
yeah, it sits in that
sits
hole in
there.
the grass, and then that blade kind of like with the wind and stuff kind of sits there and flickers in
Yeah.
that hole.
But that's nothing. That's nothing new. I mean, Furbit was making frogs like that 20 years ago.
Herb's Tackle in Northeast,
Yeah,
Joe
but
is
it
saying.
wasn't for snakehead.
It wasn't for snakeheads.
Joe's saying Herb's Tackle in Northeast is where you can
Yeah,
get
Oh
The
yeah.
Furbit did this, 10, 15 years ago. Furbit
Let me get
With
one of
the
those
little-
tiny.
inline back there in the
I
back.
gotta tell you.
But they had little fur legs coming off of it.
I got. Is there any of those left? In there?
Yeah, you want one?
The
Blue
beers
one or a
have,
gray
the
one?
beers have been going down smooth.
Blue one or a gray one?
Gray one, there's any left. I
Oh.
couldn't find any.
You got the last one. All right. So I guess the consensus is snakeheads are obviously here to stay, but I
Well, yeah.
think we kind of all agree that while at some level an introduced species is never really a good thing, I think it is beneficial for our purposes of bass fishing.
At this point, as far as sport fishing goes, as for the fresh water, and as far as like bait and everything in the water goes, I think bass are eating snakehead fry. I think snakehead are eating bass fry. The size of snakehead has gone up. The population of bass has gone up in Dundee Creek, and so is like the snakeheads and everything. So like, as far as right now goes, like I think like everything is kind of just fine. I haven't seen a decline in bait. I haven't seen a decline in panfish. I haven't seen a decline in shad numbers, like any of it.
I
As
think
a matter of fact, I caught more crappie on like crankbaits and everything than I ever have before.
So we really need to do it once we get closer to the fall, which is really not that far away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But,
No,
we're already in
we
August.
I
really-
can't wait for the fall.
we really need
Oh, yeah.
to start.
I'm ready
like
for the
we
fall.
need to have an episode on crappie fishing because like
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
dude. So last year was the first year I got into it, and
We had a good time last
we-
year.
we and
Greg.
him
yeah,
went
just
out
all the docks
and
stuff.
just destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, it was unreal.
Yeah, we had a good time.
And it's cool because it totally because when you go out, and I'm talking late fall, like after that bass bite, that fall rush of the bass is like over. Like me and him were going back.
It was
in
just
to
a
chop
different pace.
it. And it was.
nice.
And it was like,
brings you back to your roots.
and it- exactly. I
Yeah.
cannot stress that enough because it was literally, I felt like I was a kid again, dude. Like I'm out there with a fucking piece of shit little spinning rod.
Dude,
that's
remember that
been-
freaking
zip
nitro I
coat?
snapped over my leg last year? Not because I was mad. I wasn't mad, but like it was just a piece of crap, and it kept on like nesting up in this lure, and I was just like snapped this.
So I
out.
took the reel.
He
and
took
then-
the reel.
And I've been catching crap on it, but it's like Andrew was saying, it's back to your roots. Like I'm out. It was the first time I probably thrown a bobber for like I don't know 10 years, and I had so much fun. Like I'm throwing little crappy jigs with a bobber, just doop doop doop. Oh, it went under.
Little Tony caught a fish.
Like it was awesome.
You're doing a white perch in Patapsco. dude, it's unreal.
Oh,
you
I'm
don't
sure.
I
Like,
mean, you
it's-
just do like a double rig with a little micro jigs. And
We're
stuff.
going out to different
Up
areas.
to
Like,
Tapsico.
dude, we're attacking
Huh?
crappie
like
fishing this year.
Tapsico State
Oh, that
Park,
was
like
fun.
up
Me and
there.
you were
No,
going,
I
we're
mean,
gonna
you can
attack
go
crappie
like
fishing
Inner
this year.
Harbor all around.
Oh,
We get
Inner
good
Harbor.
footage.
So I
Good
grew
footage
up
crap.
on
Yeah,
Bear Creek.
definitely.
So,
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I want to check that out. For
I
snakeheads,
grew up
actually.
on a tributary off of Bear Creek called Chink Creek. It's like one of the main
It's near that
tributaries
golf
off Bear
course
Creek.
and stuff. Right?
Did they
Yeah,
rename
the
that
country
creek?
club.
Have they renamed that?
No,
creek
it's still
yet?
called Chink Creek. It's probably coming to rename it. But that's the name of it.
Chink Creek, yeah.
That's what it's called, dude.
So, I've actually heard that, not to totally hijack, but back in the day, apparently Bear Creek used to have decent bass fishing.
I
It
don't
looks
know.
great,
Not
dude.
when I was
The-
growing up.
I mean, just the shape of the coat looked like it'd be friggin'
I've actually fished it a long time ago. I could have sworn, like, I remember I was probably like 14. Me and my uncle went out and fished it. And I was like, dude, when we get back, your car's going to be on block.
I
There ain't
moved.
no way.
So I moved.
It
I
doesn't
moved
look
from
like it's the
there.
greatest area.
I moved from
It's
there
done
in
done,
19.
Yeah.
It's done.
I grew up right on the water. I moved from there in 1992, I believe it was 91 or 92. At that time, we had Bethlehem Steel. So I don't know, you guys are probably not.
I know about that.
It was a big steel factory on the river. And the fishing sucked. We had white perch and we had sunfish. We had crabs. We catch a lot of crabs in the river. But that was pretty much it. Then that's about the time they started the rockfish ban as well, because you couldn't catch no rockfish in there either. Certainly was no bass. Not at that time. No. Yeah, a lot of eels.
What about
You
back
catch
river?
eels. You catch a
Nice
muskrat.
river.
I call a muskrat in my
I see
freaking
them
minnow
all the
trap.
time.
Shit. We saw a muskrat the other day on
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Jumping
now I hear there
I
are
see them all the
bass,
time.
and there are rockfish.
Back river?
No, I don't know about
Oh,
Back River.
Bear Creek.
Yeah, Bear.
Yeah, that's Tapsico.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, Back River is a whole nother story, dude.
That's the juice,
That's
man.
the only river I think I don't fish.
While he saw
That's no
the,
kind of juice I want to drink.
No.
the muskrat, he said, me and Tony had a really cool animal experience while we were fishing Conowingo, dude. We had one of those brown weasels.
Oh, a mink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, we
mink.
had, so we
Maybe
were,
that's what we saw the other day.
Oh, what the hell?
It was probably like this big, and he was just had his head above the water.
They have a really
no,
long.
dude, minks don't go in
You
the
probably saw a
water.
muskrat.
I think it
You
was a
saw a
muskrat.
muskrat.
It was a muskrat.
Then me and him had, it was two different occasions. We actually had a brown mink. Like, it looks just like a weasel.
Imagine
like
a ferret, but it's shit brown.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like,
And so this thing came
we're
out
all
the
over place
rocks.
up there.
This thing came out of the rocks and it just kind of stood there and it was looking at us, like crawling through the rocks in and out and everything. And it was like checking us out. And it was cool as shit.
Dude, it's
to
an
see.
adorable little prick. Like,
Yeah, for real. They are really cool looking.
I want
You
for a
know,
pet now.
little Bradley and his dad was out in the pond fishing, and a little baby deer was trying to swim across the pond. They caught up little baby deer, took it back to the shore, but they caught swimming across the pond, little baby deer. Kind of cool.
I've actually.
Those fucking beavers are the ones that get me, especially before the sun comes up. And you're just like fishing, not paying no attention. They smack their fucking tail on the water, scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
What the fuck was
You guys
that?
ever seen otters? I
I
swear I
haven't seen
saw.
no otters.
You had?
I've seen otters back there before. Yes.
Okay. I feel like I saw one recently, and I wasn't sure. Like, it was
What's the
cool.
difference between an otter and a beaver? I don't know. Maybe. I've
Oh,
never
there's
seen otters.
beavers got that big fat tail, and they get rolled.
And they smack the
They
water.
build
yeah,
it
they
in,
get
dude.
fat as
The
shit.
otters are the one that float on their stomachs
Yeah.
and like.
Oh no, I ain't seen nothing like that.
Yeah, dude. I
I've
saw.
seen them in Salisbury before fishing around.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty
Otters were. I'm not gonna lie. That one might have been one of my favorite animal experiences.
Yeah,
on
they're
the
really
water so
cool.
far, too. Was seeing those otters.
I was
I've never
fishing.
seen an
I was
otter
fishing
before.
with
When
the
was
hills
that?
one time, and Dave's dad.
That was with me and Steve. Seen that in the springtime this year. We were out on the boat and we saw the otters back in the pond. Actually,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. That
I
would
mean,
be-
there's.
that would be
I
cool.
mean, Bush River.
So,
Island Point,
Well, you
I
know,
was
there's a
thinking about
beaver
doing
dam in the cut. Beaver
Oh,
hut.
yeah.
A beaver hut, not a
I'm
dam.
going to send you the video that Skylar took when he was fishing up Conowingo with one of the guys in my club when a beaver actually attacked the boat. Have you guys not seen that?
I had a
Martin-
snake tried to come on my boat
Martin
the other day. I
Payne.
just smacked it with the rod. He
I
swam
have-
right up to my boat like he wanted to get in.
I have
Shit.
video
He
of
took off the
otters in Lake Anna. They are quite rapey in the spring.
Rapey.
Otters in Lake Anna? That's interesting.
So,
Apparently,
Dan,
I've
Martin's
been hearing
had,
a lot of turkeys.
Martin's
actually.
had
Turkey
an
ponds,
unfortunate
too.
experience.
There you go,
with
Rob.
the-
Yeah, man.
Watch this shit. So you guys
You gotta
can't
play
see
it for
it.
the camera,
We're,
dude.
we're going to post it. But I sent it to Chad. He's going to post it on the page. But this is a video of a beaver
I've never
attacking
seen
a
them
boat.
come that close.
Oh,
Dude, that
Dude,
beaver
they
was
get
not
territorial.
playing.
They
Like,
get territorial.
maybe have some babies.
see, like here's the difference. Like Skylar had his phone in his hand, I'd have had my Glock in my hand. Like, okay, motherfucker, like get on this boat. Watch
Trying to
what happens.
dance? What's up?
Like,
I hear the tails go for some money.
I fuck the money. It's about respect at that point. Like, you ain't gonna
I
step.
think I'm a
Don't
fucking
be
It's
joke.
the other
step.
reason.
Don't think
You think I'm a joke, motherfucker?
Right.
I ain't pistol whipping you either.
That's a pissed off otter
Or beaver.
That's a pissed off beaver. Like
That almost makes you want to go back into Randy Savage for a second. Like,
Probably had
Do
babies.
you think you're gonna come on my boat?
Fuck would you think of beaver?
Yeah, I got to get you to send me that through email, and then
I sent it to your messenger on Facebook.
It was
You can
probably,
probably save it and put it right on the page.
they probably only get like that when they're got babies. They're protecting.
Probably
the
protecting.
babies.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. I'm sorry.
That's your problem.
There's not enough beer to wash away the hurt from that one, Rod.
My bad, man. My bad.
Look, you done broke the man's freaking worm.
Well, it was too long.
In 2 different ways.
But yeah, I mean, I'm happy that we were able to get you on the show, man, because like we obviously bass and beer, but like the snakehead conversation is an important one, and I feel like honestly, dude, like all of us here, we're decent fishermen. I mean, everyone here has done well in these tournaments over the last couple of weeks, but like I feel like we speculate a lot about snakeheads. Like there's a lot of speculation that all of us here and Paul talk about snakeheads, but like we finally got somebody on the show who's like, no, here's the deal when it comes to these things, and like
This is somebody who treats them like we treat bass.
No, you got
Right.
in the comments
Yeah,
back up.
They,
We got
like we live and
comments.
breathe bass. He lives and breathes snakeheads.
Don't get me wrong, I got bass in my heart.
Yeah, but I mean,
So
But-
Martin says, that the otters in Lake Anna, they get quite rapey.
no.
Then he said gangbang,
So
and then he said he left scratches in the hall.
so Martin, so okay. So the beaver video that we're gonna post, the animal beaver video,
Yeah.
not Wyona's big brown, but there you go. Somebody was gonna get. So apparently Martin and one of the other guys in my club got attacked by the same beaver that day. So
That's
that
what
beaver,
he's talking
that
about.
beaver was just having a bad fucking day. Like I don't know what happened. Like he got hit with a child support check or something, but he was just pissed
Did
off.
they get rabies?
Like
Yeah, he
think
might
probably
have
get rabies.
he
He
probably
probably
did. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe. But he left scratches in the hall.
them.
I don't even
they're
know what the
nasty.
Yeah,
gangbang
nothing
comment
about
is
it.
about. But apparently the beaver.
So, not even to go down that road, but if you want to talk about animals that are like nefarious when it comes to that, ducks.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Dude, it's like
yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Like 4 freaking ducks on one. I'm like, golly, man, this ain't right, man. I shouldn't even watch this. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But
yeah, ducks are bad.
yeah, we're gonna post this video here of the beaver attack, and you guys can let us know what you think about it. But it was pretty crazy. I couldn't fish that tournament because whenever my club has the Conowingo tournament, I always end up having a drill obligation, which is like just kick the dick, right? Because like that's where I fish.
Right.
That and Joppa Town are like where I go. So I never really get the last tournament I fished with my club on Conowingo was I think in 2018. I've just missed the last 3 or 4 years, so it sucks. But it's always I don't know. Like it was funny because I'm sitting at drill and I get a Snapchat in the middle of the day from Skyler, and I'm like, oh, he's either got a big one or something's going on. And it was the video of that beaver. I'm like, holy shit! Like that thing is pissed, dude. Like,
Yeah, he was not happy. Not happy on that. Really.
but well, it's 10:20. Chad, what else are we talking about?
I'm
tonight?
still trying to get this
Man.
beaver video to send to my email so I can upload it, and it's just being really slow.
If
Oh,
you
yeah,
download it on
Dan-
your phone and then log into the Bass and Beer, can you upload it?
Dan,
I have to put it into the software on the computer.
Oh, you're trying to put it on the
Yeah, so
Oh.
everybody can see it.
what's your email?
Dan mentioned those turkeys in the morning when you're back. In
Yeah,
the
I've heard
barn.
that.
You hear all the wild
Yeah, I've
turkeys
heard-
back there
even
making all
evening.
that noise. Yeah. Which would be like D's Cove. It'd be like the landfill, I believe. When I hear him, it's like over there by the landfill.
I'll send it right to
all that used to be a landfill back there.
Yeah, it still is.
Still is?
Well,
Yeah.
I've gone on like the Google Maps. That pond's been there before the 90s.
Oh yeah.
There's
Yeah.
another pond back there that's not connected.
Oh, that's a
You can't get to it by boat.
that's a heron sanctuary. You could literally walk to it from 40.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go back.
Yeah, you're not supposed to fish.
Somebody we know got caught by DNR back in the
I've thought about it. Haven't done it yet.
Somebody we know
I just seen it on Google
got,
one time.
got caught back in there. It wasn't you. Did you get caught back in there?
No,
Oh, it wasn't you?
no,
Okay.
no, it wasn't me.
I've heard plenty of stories of that.
Is it the fish is supposed to be good?
I've never gone back
It's,
there.
it's
but
trespassing, so we don't fish it. I'm just curious.
Sounds like we
I'm
need
just
a
asking
storm
for
or
a friend.
I think it is. So.
So-
Right. If it's no trespassing, it's good fishing.
I've read
that's
through
the best spots.
So
they
I've-
say no trespassing.
I have read through the forums, and they'll say that like it, you're not supposed to go back there.
Right.
Whatever. So we are uploading the beaver video, and we're going to show it before we end the show. because
Yeah.
You guys need to see this shit. This shit's
This is
pretty
wild. I figured it out. I sent it to my email on the video. Okay, so here we go. This is where the beaver attacked the side of this dude's boat, and
crazy. And Conowingo,
yeah,
of all places.
and this is pretty wild. So here we go. I'm gonna put this up, and you guys can watch this. Check it out.
Oh God. Oh no.
Get out of here, you son of a bitch.
I mean, dude,
Wow.
that beaver
It looked like it was about to
that
come
beaver
into
was
the boat,
pissed
for
off.
sure.
Yeah.
It would not be hard for one of them to come up on the back deck.
What do
I
you-
don't
what
think
do
it
you
would
That
do
tail
at
can kick him
that
out.
point?
Oh, I'm punting it. I'm punting that thing like a football.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
back
yeah.
in my ride or something.
I might
I
just
mean, they
step
got
on
teeth
him.
and
Put my weight on him
I'm
for a
punting
little
that
while.
thing.
What is it with damn Conowingo and like wildlife events? It's every time we go up there, there's a wildlife event. at
I don't know,
Conowingo.
man, dude. Conowingo
Conowingo
was
is
like
you see some crazy crap.
Me and him
there.
went up there and
The raccoons, dude.
watched two raccoons fight to the death.
to the death.
For
So,
real.
like, all right, so
The
here,
one on
I gotta
the
tell this story. I have
Yes.
to tell.
Oh wow.
I gotta tell this story, dude. So we're
Like on the
fishing.
shoreline.
This is
While
so
y'all
this
are
is the
fishing.
tournament we're fishing on Saturday, where me and him caught absolutely nothing.
It's like a month and a half ago.
Yeah. All right. So it's like earlier in the morning, and you know how like raccoons can like scream.
Yeah,
You can hear them
Yes.
screaming.
that
So like,
screech.
dude, we hear this like nasty like screeching down the shoreline, and I'm like, oh shit, like something is getting fucked up right now. So like we like go down a little bit farther, and I see something swimming out in the water, and then it like turns back around and it goes back onto the shore, and like this other big ass raccoon comes out of nowhere and just starts fucking up this smaller raccoon.
Here comes Rocket Raccoon. He means
Yeah, dude,
business.
he just starts
telling you.
tearing this raccoon up. So like then they're up on the rocks, and like this little raccoon swims back out into the water to like get away from the big raccoon, and then like turns back around to like come up to the shore
to the
different
same
area.
spot like 4 fucking
Yeah.
times. Just
And
go
dude-
100 yards down the bank and then get. Oh,
And the big raccoon just destroyed it again, and then it would like
That's
come
good.
back out like, and this thing just like chased it down the bank and just like fucked it up until
we fished down that bank for probably an hour and a half, and it was not
nothing
a
but
minute went
raccoons
by
screaming.
until you heard this
Wow.
damn raccoon. I was just like,
Did the
I'm
little
on the front of the
raccoon
boat.
die?
I'm like, just fucking kill him already. Like, what the
There
fuck?
goes all your fish you done
Did the
spooked.
little raccoon die?
It had to. That
No,
thing was
dude, I'm
getting
pretty sure
destroyed.
if it didn't drown from trying to get away, like it got destroyed.
It was like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably spooked all the fish on the shoreline.
That, if that's the excuse for why I didn't
You
catch
think
it,
we're,
then
you
that's
think we're
scaring the
catching
fish
fish
away.
on top water?
Yeah,
It ain't happening
right.
today.
I feel bad for your little raccoon, but you're scaring the fish away. You take that shit over there.
Dude, it was pretty metal. Not gonna lie.
Wow.
So then we went to the other bank, and I jump across the lake, and I'm fishing some wood over there, and guess what is literally climbing out another raccoon. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like Raccoon International freaking Celebration Day. So we didn't catch dick. I get home and I'm sitting in my garage, fucking with my fishing
And
rods.
the raccoon comes by?
Ran right next to me.
Get out of here.
I swear to God. I
He
texted him.
texted me right away.
Like,
He's like,
you
"You're
would not
never gonna
believe
guess
So
what just
at
happened."
that point, I'm already agitated because I done went out and didn't catch him. So I'm like, man, fuck this. I went inside, I grabbed the M16A1, and I'm like, let me see. Let me fucking see one more motherfucking
Let's see
raccoon.
a
It's about to
fucking
get real quick.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh my
Damn
gosh.
things.
I had to-
Well-
They're at my parents' house. They got everything.
you gotta look that up
Yeah.
now. Like
Yeah.
some kind of like, look it up. Like,
Dude, it was like the witches coming out on a full moon. I mean, it was unreal. Like we saw like 5 that day just on the lake, and then I'm sitting there and I thought it was the cat scurrying out. It's a goddamn raccoon.
Another raccoon.
I'm like, what the fuck?
the raccoon bite was good.
It must have been. it must have been trash night.
Oh,
Trash
good
man
trash
was coming out.
And this-
Oh, good Lord, dude. I had my trash can in my garage and I was cooking on the grill, threw something in there. So I go in the garage yesterday and open it up. It's like 10,000 fucking flies in my garage. I had to leave the door open. It was like a cloud of them. It's like, don't throw no meat in your trash can in your garage.
So there's
It was
a
bad
guy.
move.
There's a guy.
That is the worst.
who-
Yeah.
There's
It
a
was seriously a cloud of
the
flies.
guy I work with. I won't name him, but he's famous. He is like a internationally recognized raccoon hunter, trapper, or whatever. Right? I won't say his name because I don't know him well enough to be comfortable enough to say his name. But
Well, he's famous.
he will literally reach into a trap with a raccoon in it and grab it.
Oh, no.
Dude,
I
I've
don't
seen it. Like, it's just, oh yeah, hold on, let me grab. Just reach in there, open it up, reach in, grab the motherfucker, and just hold him up. Yeah, I got him.
No thanks.
What the fuck? No gloves, no nothing. Like, he'll get scratched up, bit up. He's like, oh, he ain't got rabies. I'm like, oh, I sure hope not.
Just got his test results back last week. He's clean.
I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like,
know.
it's like a thing.
That shit.
No, it's incredible. It's incredible. Like, he just grabs, like, yeah, I got it.
Hell no.
Hell no.
That's a whole lot.
Number one rabies carrying animal in North America. You're just going to reach in there, yeah, grab him by
I've
his
had one
throat.
lick my hand before, actually.
What's that?
I've had one lick my hand before.
A raccoon?
I swear to God, I was like, just pulled up at my parents' house and I had some soda. Raccoon comes up to me and I fed him some ice cubes. It's just like,
What?
Even
those little
I swear to
freaking
God.
I know somebody who had one for a pet. Raise it from a little teeny tiny baby into a pet. Had it for
those
like 3
little
years.
freaking
Cool
aggressive
like that.
squirrels that Mariner Point Park I don't even fuck with. And they
There's
come
black
right up to you.
Yeah, the black
They're
They're black
aggressive as hell.
squirrels there.
Yeah, they're aggressive as hell, dude. I'm like, leave me alone, squirrel.
No, they're
it's like all like in your face.
They come up to you because everybody feeds them.
Right, I know that's why, but at the same time,
They'll
I'm
fuck
like,
you up because you don't got their
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah, I ain't got no
Put my nuts
peanuts.
on.
You ain't got any food? What are you doing?
yeah, I like start walking faster to my boat. You fucking squirrels.
Give me your pistachio, motherfucker.
It's like the videos that people freaking put up with like baboons and shit where they like steal your purse.
Yeah.
and stuff.
They're all
Like,
fucking
nah,
straight.
dude.
Billy the Exterminator.
I'm a big soft
No,
spot
that's
for
not-
wildlife type of person, but it's like
Me too.
I don't
No.
fuck with the wildlife, but once the wildlife fucks with me, it's personal.
Geese are my enemy. That's probably the worst.
No, blue herons are mine. That's
Really? I
all.
love the blue heron.
They fucked my pond.
He almost
up.
caught
I
one the
had
other
a
night.
war.
I
with
caught
a blue
one
heron.
with him.
Really?
We
But,
ain't
like,
chatted.
Oh my god, dude! When Tony caught that blue herring at Lake Anna,
I felt so bad.
I hooked a seagull before. It was insane.
it was the
Fucking
dumb, dude. It was the dumbest shit ever.
I hooked him and he was like flying around and shit. I'm like, oh shit.
You couldn't have done it any better. So there's a blue heron on the bank, and we're fishing down the bank, and I launch a spinnerbait. The spinnerbait is in midair, and the blue heron takes off, and it's just like watching it in slow motion. I'm like, he's gonna fly into the fucking line. Sure enough,
Boom!
I'm
Hits
like,
the line.
holy shit,
I've had it
dude.
happen to ospreys before. It's scary.
No, I don't want to fuck with no osprey and
No.
that shit.
You
Like,
bought an osprey once?
I mean, they'll come. I mean, throwing big baits. They
I
see
dealt
them
with
and
them.
they'll
They'll
like come
chase-
down and
they'll
pick it
chase
up and drop
topwater.
it.
Yeah.
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 I've had them chase
So-
I
time
haven't
a
like
lot.
hooked them or anything, but they'll pick it up.
Basically, this fucking heron is like, it gets to the bank. I cut the line. And I'm like, God damn it, trying to catch him. So I pinned the damn thing down I'm on somebody's property at Lake Anna because the whole bank is owned private property. So I'm on somebody's front lawn.
Caught
Pinning
a
a blue-
fucking bat.
Caught a bat in Happy Degrees one night.
What?
Wow.
Keep going, Tony.
Can we hear
Sorry.
that story? So I'm on somebody's front lawn pinning this damn heron down, and it's screaming, it's biting the shit. I mean, I'm just trying to get the line off of it, make sure it's not like bleeding or nothing. Because like at the end of the day, I don't want to kill the thing. So I finally get the line off, and this heron just starts strutting away. Like didn't even fly, just like puffs his chest out, like, yeah, I made it. I was like, okay, now it's personal. I'm gonna go kick your ass.
Oh, I had a battle with a
Dude,
blue
like-
heron like this before.
I'm like,
For like 2
It was
years.
trying to get away, like dragging his lure across the ground and everything. Like,
I felt
dude,
so
I'm
bad.
sitting there holding the rod, like with the bail over.
You shouldn't feel bad. They're
So, like,
assholes.
We're at Lake Anna, by the way. So like, these are like multi-million
Oh,
dollar
yeah.
houses, dude. And like, so Tony's in this dude's like backyard with this heron that's like freaking the fuck out, like wrapped up in his line.
it's biting
It's
the
like-
shit out of it.
It's
Did
trying
it
to like
bite you?
bite
Oh,
Tony,
yeah.
or like,
100 times.
and freaking Tony's got it like underneath its head, like grabbed it by the neck, and he's like trying to unwrap its wing, and then I'm like I'm not gonna lie, like you were struggling with it a little bit. You're going to. So like, I ended up getting off the boat onto this guy's backyard too, and just left the boat like floating there, just hoping.
I
the
didn't
boat
know that
wasn't,
till just
like-
now.
To help him with the blue heron.
And you didn't see me jump off the boat?
No, I was too focused on not getting my finger bitten off by this fucking.
So I jumped off the boat, and then he like
trying to get him untangled from your line.
Yeah.
it was all like wrapped up in its feathers.
Well, the thing is I didn't want to cut him by just yanking the line.
Right.
So I was taking my time, and this thing.
You can't
is
be
like,
nice to them. They're mean
This
as
thing's
shit.
like.
Yeah.
They sound like dinosaurs when they take
Oh, I
off.
know, dude.
No, one,
It's like a pterodactyl.
Oh.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
fucked my pond up for like 2 years, and Martin, that did not work. I tried that. A lot of people said that didn't work in my pond. The blue heron didn't give a shit about that fake blue heron because they're supposed to be territorial. So you put like a fake one there.
What'd they do to the
You
pond?
know, shit. Ate every fish I ever fucking bought for like 2 years. So the
No.
way I got the net, I got the net. People like put a net up, put a net over it. He fucking just killed them through the net. Like he couldn't even eat them. He just fucking killed them, be a dick. And then like I would like come outside and he would like fly on neighbor's roof and just look at me. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And he just look at me like, what? Fuck
Yeah,
you.
I'd be
Should've got
shooting
a
him
pellet
with that.
gun.
I wanted to, but then everybody's like, oh, they're endangered species. Can't fuck with
There's
them.
no way they're
everywhere.
endangered. There's no fucking.
Or protected species. I'm sorry, protected
Like
species.
a cormorant.
What
Yeah,
they
but
don't
so
know
are
doesn't hurt 'em.
seagulls.
Look, I got these motion sensor sprinklers that shoot 70 psi's. And I put them up there, and they lit his ass up. I got video. I'll have to show you all the video. I'm going to send you the video. Oh, he ain't been back. He tried to come back for like a week straight, like at different angles. Every time he like get shot in the face and take off.
Finally,
I swear to God, fucking true story. So I'm like sitting on my porch after they got lit up because I can hear when it go off. And he's like sitting on the roof across the street.
Feathers all ruffled and shit.
He flew straight at my fucking face like I really
He
thought
knew.
like this motherfucker was fighting shit, right? He got the like this close to my face and then like turned that way and he was done. Never seen him
Hand
again.
in this corner, weighing in at 15 pounds.
My wife was like, I would have ran. I said, no, fuck him. If he really wants to fight, I'll fight him. You film it, because I'm be on video fighting him.
For the Middle River Championship, the Blue Heron.
That
Oh,
fucker
God,
ate
dude.
so much koi aren't cheap, dude. They're not
Oh,
cheap.
hell no.
And I had some good koi, and he kept eating them fucking every time, dude. Like, I tried everything, and like, oh, we're good. Make caves under the pond. They can hide in the caves. Nope, still fucking ate them. Put a net over the pond, still ate them. Every fucking thing I tried. The motion sensor sprinklers. Lit his ass. It's like a machine gun turret, too, dude. It's like, kept lighting them up, dude. I fucking,
See, that's
I was
some
so
shit I
happy. I
would
went to
love.
work smiling all fucking day. Like, lit his ass up this morning.
It's such a man thing, right? It's so simple. It's like, why are you so happy at work today? Well, I beat this bird in a battle of will. So what you're saying is you triumphed over an animal that has a brain the size of a pea. Well, hell yeah.
That's
Well,
why I
you put
fucking
it like-
pond.
You needed backup from Chad. With the one you met.
I
The fuckers are clever and they're mean. That's all I'm saying. And the raccoon. Look at the beaver. That
Dude,
beaver did that shit. I was
beaver's
like,
dead.
fuck.
So the
Should've run
raccoon
the
that
Yeah.
lives in my garage, I named him Ricky because now it's extra personal.
Oh, now you have a pet raccoon.
No. It's a nemesis. It's an arch nemesis.
Oh, Ricky.
Like I went outside
Sounds
the
like
other
you
day.
did
Why
garage
haven't
door.
you caught Ricky and relocated him yet?
It's not about catching Ricky.
It's about killing Ricky.
It's about blowing him in the fucking head. Fuck him. Dude, I haven't shot my M16 yet. I gotta use it for something. Like,
Martin agrees with me. He knows he's been through it. That fucking blue herons, if they find your pond, they're hard to stop. Seriously. And koi aren't cheap, and they will wipe you out. It's like they put you in their routine. They come around like every
They
fucking
make the
day.
rounds.
Like, oh, he goes to work at 9. I'm gonna come by at 10. Like every fucking day. It's insane. Like I see him on the cameras and shit. Like that
I'm gonna
fucker
come
comes
by at
around
10.
every time I leave and shit. Like, yeah, seriously, they're smart as shit. And they put you in a routine for real. Fucking blue herons. Fuck them. My bad.
so Dan's comment. Dan had this should be a topic. I feel like, but Dan had a
Koi
time with a
ponds
fox
and
that
blue
ate
heron.
all the koi in his pond. So a friend of mine has a really small koi pond, and he doesn't live anywhere near water. But it was for him. It was a raccoon. It was the same type of thing, like the raccoon, because they're smart little bastards. They'll go in there and grab it, and,
Yeah.
whatever.
Foxes are pretty smart too.
So my favorite thing to do is we have deer all over the place at my grandmother's house. So I have an old wine bottle, and I'll just like basically put a bottle rocket in it and then just hold it. And then I'll shoot it right at the deer. I think I've gotten within like 6 inches of one when the bottle rocket blew up, and I watched that deer jump about 6 feet in the air and land on its back. And I
I
was like,
scared a deer in the woods one time. I scared the fuck out of me. You ever scare one?
I scared a deer with a fart. I got it on video.
The way they fucking
I'm not lying.
Send
I
you
can
that.
believe that. I can believe that.
I'm sending it to you. I swear to God. You can hear it. Like,
But they like got like a weird fucking yell kind of thing.
Bah.
Yeah. It's like loud as shit, scare the fuck out of you.
If you farted and made a deer yell,
I didn't make it yell. I made it run away.
Tony farted the other night after the podcast, scared the shit out of me. What the fuck was that?
Another deer.
I think you told him it was a good one. He was like, "Oh, good one, dude."
All right, I'm gonna find this video, but I think we're probably ready to wrap it up.
Yeah, food
Yeah.
is ready.
Yeah, we are ready to wrap it up. We're at about 2.5 hours here.
What about quick?
Dude,
It
it
does.
does,
It
man.
does.
I don't know, man. Like
Time
I
flies when we're
freaking,
having fun.
I absolutely
Hell yeah.
love sitting here and just bullshitting and talking
Yeah.
about fishing and all the good fishing stories. Like I freaking love it. Like I do it partially for like everybody that likes to watch. Dude, a big part of it is because I just freaking love sitting here and bullshitting with everybody and talking about it. You know. I want to say a huge shout out to the people that support Bass and Beer Radio. First and foremost, we have Bass Munitions Lures. Bass Munitions Lures has been a big supporter of us. They've sent us tons of soft plastics. We love their soft plastics. We've hammered fish on their soft plastics. Flipping baits, drop shot worms, paddle tails, you name it. Mr. Larry's got it, and he's got some more baits in the works coming for you guys here soon. Stop by bassmunitionslures.com and check out some of his stuff. You definitely won't regret it. And then another guy that takes care of us through and through, especially here in the summertime, we're producing lots of bass on his amazing frogs. We have Tailored Lures. Tailored Lures frogs are some top-notch frogs. He just dropped the Model D, which is one of his larger profile frogs. They have great quality hooks, super sharp, very stout, lots of different different colors, very unique colors and different designs. This one, as you can see, has a blade down here at the bottom of it. Some of them have tails, some of them have paddles, and he's got great frogs, and that's a great lineup. So check him out for all of your frogging needs. It's very important this time of the summer to have some really good frogs that
That's all I'm
Yeah.
throwing.
to have some frogs that you really have confidence in while you're out there.
And that banjo minnow and mighty bite.
Yeah.
Decent.
And then UMA Lures, man. Go to umalures.com and check out our boys' crankbaits. Custom balsa wood crankbaits. Foil wrapped. If you work with Tyler will work with you on like paint jobs that you want. Good paint jobs, foil wrap paint jobs, owner hardware.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Oh, they're nice, dude.
Oh, dude,
Real
it's
nice.
like
Got that G10 fiberglass
like
lip,
flat.
too.
Chad told me if I want one, I got to steal it off the table. So
pretty much, man. Like,
Don't get that
I
one.
don't know what
Trash.
you're talking
Paul-
about.
Paul-
yeah,
Paul said
like
it could be
it-
some.
these are some absolute fire crankbaits,
Yeah.
and check them out, and get yourself on a list with Tyler to get you some of these crankbaits.
Saying he like wires the building and everything.
Oh yeah, dude, they're great. And then the deflection.
Is it a
Those are
tight
insane.
wobble or like how?
That flat side is a little bit tighter of a
Yeah.
wobble. If you want to see, I'll actually show you. I'll show you a video before we get off here real quick.
I love flat-sided crankbaits.
Yeah.
I
So here's
love
here's
flat-sided.
Tyler's flat side, since I have a really good video of it. I'll just.
This is one right here.
Yeah, there was both of them.
Yeah, they're both.
So, dude, they have really great wobble. The deflection rate of the crankbaits is fantastic.
How
So,
deep do these dive?
That
4
one
to
dives
6.
to about like 4. This
I
one
was gonna say, that
dives
looks
down
like
to
about
probably
6.
about like 6 to 8, maybe.
Oh, that is
That's a
bill,
square
okay.
bill.
Yeah.
That's more like the
Yeah.
6 foot.
Um, so like 8 would be very deep for that, but like 6 foot range,
Yeah,
actually,
fives,
yeah. They're great crankbaits. Anyways, well, thank everybody for coming out here tonight. What's up, Darwin? Darwin checking in late, seeing what's going on. Appreciate you for logging in, brother. But we are about to log out for the evening. We appreciate everybody for checking in, seeing what's going on. And we want to thank Andrew Donahue with 40 East Fishing for coming on here tonight.
man.
Dude,
Thanks
thanks
a lot,
for having
man.
me, guys.
We-
This is
super
awesome.
stoked. That was awesome.
So much
Definitely
fun.
learned a lot about that tonight.
40eastfishing.com, 40 East Fishing on Instagram and Facebook. Get in contact with Andrew if you want to go out there and get on some big old fat snakehead.
I'll show you what I got. Teach you everything I know.
He's the man. He's got the baits. He supplies the rod for you. Supplies the baits. He's even kind enough to put some
couple waters,
snacks and some waters in there for you.
Couple
And,
Scooby
It
snacks.
gets tough out there, and you guys know the heat's brutal. It's brutal.
He takes care of his clients. Go on there, check out his Instagram, check out his Facebook, check out some of the hammers that he's put people on that want to get out there and they want to catch fish. And he's the man for the job.
Thank you, sir.
So that's the end of it. And we had Kevin come on here tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Awesome meeting y'all.
New riverboat ride video coming this weekend.
Riverboat Rob video coming this weekend.
Yeah, Fishing in Maryland series.
Wait, so you got a jet or are you running a prop?
No problem.
Okay. Jack plate and everything. Hydraulic.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. We are going to log off here tonight, and we will catch you next episode, Tackle Tuesday.
Yep.
We have not discussed what bait we're going to talk about on Tackle Tuesday. So
Banjo minnows.
We will probably not be talking about
Can we
banjo
do the
minnows
made
for
for
the
TV?
Don't
long
sleep
time.
on that banjo minnow.
I'm not sleeping
I
on the
keep
banjo
telling y'all
minnow.
to catch
I'm
Can
just
we
saying.
do-
I don't know if we
Banjo
can
minnow,
get.
isn't that the fucking old school infomercial?
Right. With the helicopter lure. I was going with the helicopter lure, the power packs. Like Paul sent the power packs the other day. This was in a group text. We should do a made for TV lure show.
As seen on TV.
I've seen on TV.
I've seen on
lures.
TV, dude. That would pretty
The
fly.
one where you
Fly
like shove
over
it
it.
into the live bait or
It's
the
got the little
that-
flasher on the
yeah,
back
dude.
where it flashes red.
We should do that.
The
Dude. We should do
flying lure,
reviews
yeah.
on all
Or
the
you bring it up
TV
backwards so it flies the other way.
What we should all go buy one of each one. and have a
Bandito
tournament
bugs.
and see
No.
who catches fish
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
That would
I
kind
gotta
of be
meet up
fun.
with you on Thursday night.
If we're
Dude,
doing
that'd be
that,
fun.
dude, if we're doing that, I'm going straight banjo minnow for sure.
Yeah,
I'm not
banjo
fishing
minnow.
that fucking
Is that the one where you
helicopter lure.
hook it through the lip?
Yeah,
It's
it's like
hooked
it's like
to
a
the
fluke.
eye. It
It's
goes
like a
through the
fluke.
eye.
Yeah.
It's like a fluke.
Before I even got into fishing, I
And-
saw that. I was like, damn.
Do you know the helicopter lure? The
No.
Roland Martin helicopter lure? It's like a soft plastic, with like 3 blades at the top. You throw it out there, you just reel it in, it like twirls
It
around.
just sits there kind of as one.
Yeah,
It looks so stupid.
Roland Martin's like on the cover of the box and everything.
Is it a treble hook?
No, it's weedless. It's weedless.
I'm about to
Yeah,
start throwing
you
these for
Texas
snakes.
bring it.
Probably work.
It's got a barrel swivel, and then it has like a hook, and you stick it in there, and it's serious like a soft piece of plastic with like 3 blades,
Oh,
soft
shit.
plastic blades.
Interesting.
It's called the helicopter.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not fishing that. I'm going banjo minnow if we're having a tournament. Ain't no
Dude,
way.
we
I'm
should
putting
do
my
that.
money on the fucking helicopter lure. I'll
should
do the
do that.
power pack. I'll do the power pack. The one you throw it out, look like a frog. You throw it out and you yank it, and it pulls the string, and then the ladies start like fuck like a kid's toy when you pull the string.
Yeah,
And the ladies
I've
start
seen
kicking
that.
like this. I might do that one.
like a wind up
I'm
car.
serious. We should
Yeah.
do this tournament. This would be kind of fun.
Yeah,
Not
let's
gonna
do
lie.
it. Let's do it.
Somebody's gonna be
Like
stuck
this.
with a really. fucked
We're
up
going to
piece
talk
of
about
crap
this
lure.
off the air, though. I'm going to have to grab some pizza and some chicken nuggets that my awesome girlfriend made for us.
There's pizza?
So, yeah, there
Oh, I
is.
smelled
So,
something cooking.
yeah, we got to hop
And
off
it
of
wasn't
here.
what the Rock was cooking.
Thank you, everybody, for logging in, tuning in to Bass and Beer Radio. We will see you guys on the next episode for Tackle Tuesdays on Tuesday, obviously.